the dark of night. Tabletops counting eyes in the early hours. Stone cold inside, banging drops, dancers, never needing answers. We wander all alone, but we can't find the street lights call. We wander all alone, but we can't deny we are the street light people. Chasing whatever kills. For so long I forgot how it feels. In the dark of night, tabletops counting eyes in the early hours. Stone cold inside, banging drops, dancers, never needing answers. We wander all alone, but we can't find the street lights call. We wander all alone, but we can't deny we are the street light people.
I love it. Yeah. They're very official looking.
Yeah, they look really good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dire Bear Adventuring Company's sci-fi game, Into the Void. Our team is slowly compiling. Consider them waking up from deep sleep. And while we wait for everyone to join us, we will go ahead and recap. Last week, the sound of klaxons brought them from their deep slumber, their moment of respite as they hurtle through the void of space on the way to their colony planet, their final destination. The crew, 6 primary members of the crew, awaken slowly one by one, and in doing so, we see the mystery start to unfold. The sound of the alarm says that they've been set off course. The navigator discovers that they are way off course, but yet at the same time it appears as though they're perfectly where they need to be. And we watch as they try to uncover the missing. They found out that they were missing 42 colonists when they went to investigate. They found that they were completely gone from their pods. Checking the video feed to try to figure out what it was that set them off course, they see that something activated the airlock number 7. But then 45 minutes of footage is completely missing. Everyone seems to check out, but the changelogs seem to have come from the captain's sign-in. While they're investigating what else might have gone on, the science officer and the Marine found themselves in the tech bay, in the science bay, where the powerhouse and the main drive for the ship is. And the science officer saw a vision, a familiar face that he knows, appeared and then seemed to disappear into the waste. The Marine felt their mind invaded by the terse words of their father. Finally, after investigating all of these things, they gather back at the bridge. The klaxons begin. And the medical officer turns to tell them to disable those, only to find herself waking once again in her sleep pod. As a matter of fact, all of them are awakening once more in their sleep pods. And that's where we left off. Tonight with me we have, as always, playing the Marine. Although if you're looking at your screen right now on Twitch, it may look a little off as we're waiting for our captain to arrive. But we have with us Atlas, who is playing Tane the Marine. We have Maddie, who is playing with us Nara, the medical officer. We have Captain Paragon playing Skippy the ensign. We have with us V playing Quentin, our navigator. And then we have with us Poca Super Fresh playing Nain, our science officer. And Jack, who is playing our captain, will be with us here shortly. But once again, as last week, you find yourselves waking, the sounds of the alarm blaring as you all step from your pods. Once again, you have to tear the door open for the navigator's pod as it is jammed shut. The captain is once again slow to awaken. The pod is open. They are receiving life support. But once again, they are not as responsive as they were. What will you do first?
I had the weirdest dream. It was like the future or something. Like all of this happened. And then we all went out into the ship. We were doing shit. And then we woke up again. So I think possibly I can tell the future. Possibly. I'll get back to you on that.
I don't think so. I admire the enthusiasm, but I have the same memories, so
Oh shit.
The alarms are still blaring.
I'd like to go to the bridge.
All right. You make your way again to the bridge. The ship, very familiar.
Cool.
Taking a sharp right as you exit.
go with.
All right. You head in that direction as well.
I'm heading out there as well.
All right. Ensign?
Skippy looks like he's in shock. But he
Actually-
he slowly starts to follow after them, but stops, grabs his pants, and then goes.
That's right. I forgot.
Puts his pants on.
I grab the captain and haul her over my shoulders now that I know it's probably safe to do that since we couldn't do it last time. And then
You're just wearing her like a captain cloak? Like,
yeah, just like, all right, here we go.
like the most awkward piggyback ride.
It's more convenient.
All right. You make your way to the bridge. The alarms are still blaring. Navigator.
I don't care about the alarms. I'm going straight for the navigation. Double
You go
check our
straight for the navigation, and it shows that you are off course. That you have been traveling off course for 15 years. To correct yourself where you're at the speed, you have one of two choices. This is all very familiar. God, this is the most awkward feeling of deja vu. You have one of two choices. You can stop the ship, turn it, and then right your course. Take you about 20 years, but you lose any forward progress. Or you can reposition the ship and angle it back on an arc trajectory back to your original point. Which option would you like to choose? It would take you 30 years to right, but you would be making forward progression at that time.
I'll do just that. I'll put us
All right.
again.
You choose that option.
Grinding my teeth.
Hey,
God.
there you are.
Hey.
There we go. Yeah, we have you back.
What? Haha! Okay.
Like, yeah. Excellent.
Just think, ladies and gentlemen, we're professionals. All right,
Yeah.
so, well, at least I am.
Did you say you didn't have my cam?
Oh,
What's
it's fine. Like I think it's not loading for.
Oh no, I think we have you now, Atlas. We're good.
Okay.
All right. Looking at the astrogation charts, again, you are very familiar with how this navigates. You see that you are, once again, in the wrong sector. So let me try to explain. You walk into one of those cookie cutter houses in one of those neighborhoods where they're trying to sell all of the prefab houses. And this one looks a lot like the last one that you walked into. It's only slightly different in that one bathroom is in a different location. Or the
Damn,
paint,
that was my favorite bathroom.
I hate that bathroom. I would
the bathroom is a mess. But do you understand what I mean? It's the
Yes.
same, but it's not the same. There's something wrong with it.
Huh.
Someone get those clacks, by the way. Turn off the alarms. You do that?
Hello, our captain has joined us.
Hi, I'm
Captain's
sorry.
here.
Marine,
Fashionably late as always.
you feel the captain stirring. You have been draped over the Marine's shoulders like some awkward human cloak. Like the most awkward piggyback ride ever. She just has your arms and is dragging you. Or he has your arms and is dragging you along.
All right, so I'm just like, woo, I'm awake. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
I
Yes.
figured it was more like laying horizontally across my shoulders, and I'm like,
you're
I
like
have like one arm
fireman
behind the
carrying
legs, one arm,
Oh, I
yeah,
gotcha.
like
Okay,
yeah, fireman's carry.
You were like drape them over my shoulders. My first thought was you literally just went, and then just
Yeah, totally.
feet
So I'm
dangling
awake.
awkward like the biggest toddler ever. All right.
You can't
so-
spell captain without cape.
Oh,
I mean, you
No,
can
that's
though.
not how that works.
it's fine. You did your best. You're
What
doing
about Capitan?
happy John.
Captain.
You navigator, everything is off again. Who's taking care of the klaxons? Because they are.
Please.
Yeah, can somebody deal with that, please?
I'll take care of it right quick.
All right, you
Thank you.
easily find the override. Once again, looking at the klaxons, there has been a change in the course, an alteration made to the path by an outside force.
I start checking the video cameras.
Are you looking for any particular video camera, or just all of them?
I'll start with the airlock. I'll start running down a list of the things that we ran into last time to make sure everything's the same.
All right. Well, you remember that the airlock 7 was the airlock that had the problem last time. Going straight to the video feed, it is minute for minute the exact same. There is a foot. You see the edge of a foot stepping through the door into the ship. Then there is a 45-minute jump in time. And the feed resumes to normal.
Check all the logs. Make sure it was the captain that edited the video.
It was. The captain's login is the one that was used to edit the video.
Check the pod logs. Make sure she was actually still asleep.
The pod log shows that it was sealed and no one messed with it.
Question: do we recognize the boot on the foot stepping in the door at all? Does it look familiar to us?
It's like the tip of the toe. It's really
Okay, so we
kind
wouldn't
of
know if it was like a regulation boot or
really,
anything like
yeah. You wouldn't really know. I mean, it could be.
that. Okay.
I'm going to check the colonist pod logs. They're still 42, not where they're supposed to be.
No,
So there's more than 42 gone, or
maybe you did the math wrong. We swear it was 42, but it's 994 that aren't repeating or aren't reporting.
What? Okay.
So that means we have 42 colonists.
No, there's 43 missing
Oh.
because before
I wasn't saying the 900 are missing. My bad.
okay.
I was like,
it just swapped
Wait
it
a
around.
minute, how do you fuck up that bad?
As the captain looks at you and says,
Hillbillies, no time.
"That's why you'll never be anything more than an ensign."
You know, good duck.
You'll never be shit.
All
You're
right,
just like your father. Okay.
oh.
you are looking at 43 colonists missing.
I didn't ask this
Okay.
before, but do we have like family and stuff on the ship? Like,
That's
would any of
one
us
of the
have?
reasons why you all were selected,
We have no
don't have
family?
any attachments.
because you have no family immediately, like no
Oh,
wives,
okay.
things
I
like
was
that.
like,
You have family, just not any immediate family. So, like, none of you have wives, none of you have husbands, none of you have.
oh, okay.
children.
I meant like mothers, fathers, brothers.
Yeah, you have mothers, brothers, fathers, all that. They know what mission you're going on, and you were selected as the best candidates, and because this was the mission that was going to come up, you knew it's kind of one of those. You knew what you signed up for.
Okay.
Signed up.
Is this what I signed up for, really?
I mean,
I don't know.
It's a point of pride to be manning any ship, let alone a colonist ship, which will be another foothold into the expansionists of the human empire, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Wait, how many other colonist ships have we sent out?
This is actually only the 6th one.
Okay.
Those first 5 we sent out,
Mm-hmm.
they reached their destinations without any problems, or have we been doing this just over the last few years, and so it's like we're the 6th one, but the other voyages?
It's you, because of the way that reality works, the others were set off within the last 100 years total. Yours is the 6th and kind of the first of the new regime. The power core used to drive the engines on this is new technology that had been in development but had not become fully around until this ship. The Praetor is more along the lines of a flagship for the new fleet.
Okay.
Originally, most of the colonist ships from the previous ones, once you get past a certain point, we don't have any communication relays that will work fast enough to catch up with what it is. So, and they're still in transit. And if you recall from the first one, does anybody remember how long you had been in transit whenever the klaxons went off? Somebody checked the log and saw.
115?
120, right?
120 years. If I'm not mistaken. I have to double check, but I think
I wrote it.
20.
So.
All
I
my
have
friends
mine.
are dead! Cha!
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you've been in transit for 120 years, according to the computer, when the klaxons went off.
All right, am I misremembering, or were we 5 years off course the last time?
No, you were. It was the incident happened 5 years, but the way that you travel,
Okay.
you are 15 years off course. That doesn't mean you've traveled.
The other ship docked with us 5 years ago.
Correct, or
Okay,
whatever
that's
it was
right.
that opened the airlock was 5 years ago.
Okay.
And at the way that your angle is that you are 15 years from your original point of trajectory. So that's when you say you're 15 years off course, it's not that you've been traveling that way, it's just that you are angled off that way.
I'm just making sure all the numbers are still lining up like the last time.
So far, the only number that seems to not line up, and again, maybe he did the math wrong, are the number of colonists that are not reporting.
Maybe math doesn't exist in this universe.
Alternate
That would be so.
That is the
much-
one thing that is persistent in space.
So
Okay.
you mean that we-
Escape math, even in space.
How many colonists are we short now?
43.
And who's the new person missing?
Let's pull up the list and see.
I hope it's not another YouTuber.
Not on my favorite YouTubers.
That's the secret
No.
plan behind this. Is it's all just me bumping off YouTube.
No.
No.
Oh, anybody but whatever her name was.
Paul getting his revenge.
It's just the Twitch conglomerate. It's assassin. All right, you look through the log and compare the missing pod. It's missing from the number. It's missing from the number 2 tube. It's missing from the number 2 tube, and it is looking over it. It seems to have not really had anybody of any significance. They had a specialty in horticultural growth and basically soil science and things like that, but not
Now what do we do?
not like a super scientist or anything else. It's just this is where they came from. They were a good candidate for it, and they succeeded.
We've soiled it. Okay, that was bad.
I love you so much. Never change.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Are we we sure Tane didn't have kids? That was awful dad of him.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we're missing another one. Captain, I have a theory, and you're not going to like it.
What?
My theory is whatever's on this ship, whatever boarded this ship 5 years ago, it's still here.
Henley.
Like, no.
Ensign, can you possibly pull up how long it's been since the last time we were put to sleep?
Sure. I assume that's not something difficult.
No. Are you looking? You're looking at the log for when your sleep pods were activated. Okay.
How many times they've been activated?
Once. The way that it works is much like a ship at sea. The ship makes its way out into a certain part, and then the captain joins the ship. What happens is that the crew, what we call the main crew, which is U6, because you're not the only science officer, you are just the head or the science and the only person in the science division. You're just the head of it. You're not the only person in the medical division. You're just the head of it. You're not the only person in charge of navigation. You're just the head of the navigation, so forth and so on. The only people who are kind of not in the head or the lead roles would be the ensign. However, the ensign is kind of your XO. He's kind of your second in command. And the Marine, you are head of security details, so therefore you would be kind of the lead of that, just not part of the naval fleet. Now, you guys tended to everything. There was a 2-year period where you basically just maintained the ship at any sort of normalcy, and then your pods were activated. And that still holds true. Your pods were activated once and then deactivated once. At least that you can see on the log.
So the theory that I've got is there's two of them. One, we're all suffering pod malfunctions, and that this wake up is unfortunate. Or two, we're stuck in a time loop, and whatever came on the ship 5 years ago is still here.
How much of the ship have we searched so far?
Like the colonist tubes, and you guys went to the science, I'm going to come up with an official name for it here in a second because I keep calling it the science base, but it's not. You went to the reactor, the core room, so where the reactor is that drives everything, which is where the science officer's office was. You've investigated the sleep pods for the colonists, the medical bay. I think that's pretty much it. So that's only like, it's a big ship. That's only like less than a quarter of it, maybe 10% of the entire ship.
So,
do we have
it's
cameras
still-
that would see the outside of the ship?
No.
Do we have space suits, for lack of a better word?
Yeah.
Go and
Mhm.
check outside.
this
Yep,
sounds
you do.
like an awful idea, but
Not
I'm
it.
listening.
You have
It's gonna be
You might
some
wanna
gravity
ask
shit.
Tane.
you are all familiar with using vacuum suits, which are specialized suits that allow you to stand the ravages of being exposed to a vacuum. Basically, it's a high-powered spacesuit. Yeah. They have them. They are all fitted for you. They all work perfectly fine. They have a small self-contained recycling unit that it's got an oxygen tank and then a recycling unit with scrubbers in it that kind of help to recycle some of the oxygen so that you're not using just fly.
Okay.
So we're pretty sure something. I don't think we've actually checked out that bay on foot.
Mm-mm.
We should do that. We should bring along a suit or two. See if there's anything we can find if we go outside.
If I had to make a suggestion, I think we ought to check the outside of the ship just to make sure there's no blast marks or anything like that. Someone
Good thinking. Good thinking.
getting in.
Yeah, but I don't want anyone to go alone. Since we still don't know what we're dealing with. Okay.
No one's going alone, mate. I'll go with whoever it is, and if anything gets in our way, don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Laser pistol.
I wish that.
Wait, do I still have that?
No, it's not on you.
Okay.
have to go get
Where did we? Oh, it was back in my cabin, right?
It's back in your room, yeah.
Okay.
We have an armory, right?
You do have an armory.
Okay.
Yeah. Perhaps we should arm ourselves.
Are all of us trained? We're all trained to defend.
You all
Probably for the
trained,
most
yes.
part.
As part of your
Who's the weak link?
as part of your basic training skills, you all had some sort of training. I actually let me double check that because I want to say that the one person that may not have any is the medical officer. Let me double check.
I'm like really nervous. I'm just like,
Do you know how to
medical
shoot?
officer.
What?
Actually, I take that back. The medical officer does not have any training in gun combat because
She
That
can do a
was
mean
there
bow
is-
staff, though.
the medical officer is part of the NWC, but was actually a physician prior to joining the NWC.
Civilian spotted. Okay.
This civilian's going to be the one
Around.
that makes sure that you don't shoot each other. So,
Shoot each other. But
We
Or-
all need one of
I've
those.
never more
so-
shot someone. It's always
Everybody's
been a good
looking
punch
at it
to
the wrong
face.
way. You know that if the medical officer has to kill you, it won't be from a gun.
Yes, that's true. Okay.
Just get you alone in the cabin and then just flood the life support out of there. Just watch
I
us
think
navigate.
we should start by laying actual eyes on that bay airlock. What is it? What?
It's an airlock.
The airlock seems totally safe.
Are
Totally
you
safe.
all right, Captain? You
It's
seem
been
a
a
little
long
groggy.
series of hours.
That's fair.
Actually, I would like for the ensign to give me an intelligence roll. Just go to your intellect, excuse me. Go to your intellect and just give me a straight roll.
Ruh-roh.
No modifiers. All right. You actually, you know what? Let me take a look at this.
You know what? Not as smart as you thought.
You're like,
Step
you know
back.
what? Oh,
Okay.
No, that didn't go bad at all. You start counting on your fingers, running to the colonists. No, like making a list on his fingers.
Oh.
Running to the colonists. At the same time, checking the astrogation charts. At the same time, checking the science, and then checking the science labs and the core in the reactor room. And then everybody kind of came back up here. Oddly enough, you could have swore it took hours, but it only took about 45 minutes.
And that's about how long is missing out of our video, isn't it?
That is. It's about how long is missing out of your video.
Okay.
So, checking the airlock then. Who's going? All right.
All right, who's up for a little field trip?
All
I
right.
It makes
would
sense.
really,
Anybody?
Go.
Any takers?
I
So,
would really not like to split us up right now. So how about we all go together? And
we need the navigator to get us back on course.
And all fly out into space? Not sure if that's the best idea, mate.
let's take your essential crew out of an airlock. I fucking love it.
Everybody.
all of you go except me. And then when you're in there, you call me, and then I'll press the button to blast you all out into space. How about
They're all
that?
just attached to like a rope.
Listen, I never said I was a good captain. I just said I was a captain, okay?
Oh
Okay, Captain, the navigator needs to get us back on course. Let Quentin do his job.
All right.
no! Done that.
Fine.
So
You
you're
stay.
going.
And the rest of us will go. If you have
Do we need
any...
Do we need to leave someone? Do we need to be leaving anyone alone, Captain? I mean, if Doc's right, there's something on the ship.
I'll lock the door. It'll be okay.
Captain, I have no combat
I'll stay.
experience, and if anything tries to get you guys, you all stand a greater chance of defeating it than I do. If there is something on the ship, and I'm not saying there is, I'm not saying there's not, because I have absolutely no idea, but if there is, I would rather be behind these doors.
All right. So what are you doing?
Fine. Nara, stay with Quentin, and I'll go with the rest.
Okay. So medical officer, navigator staying in the bridge, locking the door. And then the rest of the crew is going to the airlock.
Can I
Grab our
do
stuff.
something on the computer before we leave?
What would you like to do?
I would like to set up a timer, set an alarm.
Okay, sure. What kind of alarm would you like to set? And how long?
I want it to go off 45
And how long?
after we woke up.
45 minutes. So you estimating that would be about like 42 minutes or 43 minutes from now.
Yeah, well, let's make it go off a minute earlier than that.
Okay, so set it at like the 44-minute mark.
Yeah, give us a minute warning.
Okay, sure.
Have the computer announce it to us if we're in spacesuits over the comms.
Sure thing. All right. Who is going out onto the airlock?
Does that take special training?
You should all have vac suit training. Except for Nara, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'm suiting
I'm a
up.
civilian, give me a break!
I volunteer myself and Tane.
Okay, so the captain and Tane are going out.
Yeah.
All
Captain,
right.
can we hit the arsenal on the way?
Wait, hold on.
Pardon?
Can we hit the arsenal on the way? The weapon cabinet.
It's you can get to it and then go back down to there. You'll have to take the maglifts up to the other sector of the ship to grab from the armory.
Just in case there's something on the ship, make sure we're all armed. Well, all of us know how to use a gun.
Okay. Sure.
Total trip time there to grab the armory. You find again, they're the equivalent of basically a super powered taser. They fire short bursts of basically debilitating energy. They're not super fancy. They're not going to cut through metal or anything, but they'll make you pee yourself if you're not careful. All right. The magazines are batteries, and they have what equates to about seven rounds in there before they're depleted, and the battery has to be replaced. All right.
All right, do we have to go somewhere specific to get our vac suits also?
The vac suits are kept in the airlock area, in the airlock region. If you'll remember that the airlock is like it has two off on each side, and then it has one up and then one down, and that is a big chamber. And in that big chamber are the vac suits themselves. So they're right there where the airlock are. So who's suiting us? So so Marine and Captain are suiting up in the vac suits. All right. Just go ahead and on your sheet, just go ahead and roll vac suit for me, please.
Oh God!
How fucked are we?
Tane
He's like,
fails
"Got
and
to
just
die."
like
Run away.
fucking dies in space. So that sucks.
What is this sheet?
If they are providing you with assistance, you guys are helping them suit up. I'll let you add a modifier of 2 since the other 2 are kind of helping you make sure that they're secured. So whenever you click on your sheet on your vac suit, choose the modifier of 2.
Tane's having a hell of a time until people actually come over and help him. He's like, all right.
He's trying to get his foot in, and all of a sudden,
Like,
So on your character
fine.
sheet, there, Jack, on your character sheet, if you will click on the word vac suit, you should have one on there.
And then modifier 2.
Modifier 2.
And then I click the little...
And then click roll, and it should roll for you. Is it not doing it? Oh, there it goes. Oh,
I'm like
nice.
so confused by this sheet. It is like not at all. I'm still learning my D&D one, and I'm like, what is this?
Here's a new one for you.
Wow, you put that suit on
Figure
me.
it out.
Yeah, that suit, that is the... If you gave an instruction on how to put the vac suit on the appropriate way, starting with the boots, then moving out through the fitting and making sure that the harness is connected properly, that the O2, and then even bleeding the O2 a little bit to make sure that it's all working, that is the absolute pinnacle of what you've just done. This is like
Pretty
top
amazing.
mark
I know.
grade.
Probably should have done that.
A
Looking
plus.
Tane,
Looking at Tane, he's like, this fits right.
No, it's looking a little. What did you do?
You're wrong.
I put the
Why is
back
your
suit
harness
on.
up here and like not down there?
Listen, do I look like an engineer? That they didn't hire me for this.
With their help, you get the suit straightened out to where it will function and not, suck your eyeballs out when you hit the void of space. All right. You step into the airlock. You're going to got the same one that you had reported on earlier. Airlock 7. All right. You hit the button. There's the shh of the doors closing. You hear the soft rush of air being flooded out of that room. The orange lights go on. The lights go. The doors open. Nothing but silence. Other than your own reverberation and breathing in your own ears inside of your suit.
Bloody hell, that's big.
You reach down and confirm your mag on your boots as you start to slowly drift, and then you're like, click. You come back to rest on it.
We got mag boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, how else do
baby!
you think you're going to move around? You're going to just kind of...
I don't know, like a sticky little jetpack. We got fucking mag boots.
Okay.
Atlas, I love you. Never change.
I know,
All right.
right?
Same always.
What are you doing now? You've got the bays open. What are you looking for? What do you hope to find? What is your goal by going outside of the doors of the ship? Which I fully support. I'm just curious.
Well, first I'm gonna try and walk on the wall in my mag boots, and then I'll actually
I'm
start
gonna
doing
watch
real
on
things.
disapprovingly, but I won't stop him.
Your mag boots
Check
work
this out.
amazingly well.
Look, I can go sideways. Isn't
Yeah.
that awesome?
Can
Yeah, we don't have
we
time for
voice
this.
that?
All right, all right.
She's
Are you like
sitting
in the
there.
airlock
outside.
looking through the window like, what is he doing? What is
Yeah,
he
radio.
doing?
Yes.
What the hell?
Your comms work. They can hear you. You can hear them using the
Okay.
comm on the side of the airlock door.
Quick question. What the fuck?
Do I go to the wall?
I don't know. Whatever.
Mom, look what I can do.
Okay, so
Spider-Man,
We
Spider-Man.
literally are on a time limit.
I am looking for like any damage or anything
Okay.
out of place. Anything that looks
Stepping
weird.
outside, sure. Stepping outside, you take a glance around the ship. You're familiar with the ship, not as familiar with certain aspects of it as other members of the crew, but you're the captain. You have to kind of know these things. The way that the doors work is that there is a ring that is magnetized, and whenever another ship initiates that magnetization, that mag lock, that's what creates the seal that allows for the airlocks to be initiated and opened. Alternately, if there is an external like override that someone in a suit can actually push that button and it will open it. And as you look over, you can see where that button is at. There's no damage. It doesn't appear as though anything damaged the side of the ship. So you're not quite sure if something coupled, and then when they released, the push off allowed it to move course, or what. You can just see that something opened the airlock and you're not quite sure what.
Captain, You ever see that really old movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, where there's the robot thing and it opens the airlock and it's like, I can't let you do that, Dave. And I fell asleep halfway through the movie, but I woke up during that part. But anyways, I feel like
You didn't miss anything.
nothing important. Nothing important. I don't know. It's giving me those kind of vibes.
I know. There's a lot of deja vu right now. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
see aliens.
All right.
No, not
So looking
gonna lie to
looking
you,
around
kid.
the edge of the ship,
Listen.
you don't see anything that appears out of the ordinary.
Okay.
While this is going on, Navigator,
Yes.
go.
Are you okay? Do you need some Adaman? You got a medical officer right there.
You-
Perfect.
I need you to go ahead and give me an astrogation check. Just astrogation. You're at your computer, so I'll allow you to add a modifier of 2.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, you figured out what's going on with the sector and why it looks off. It is like mirrored.
Oh, it's flipped.
Hence the reason, right. Furthermore, since everything doesn't work on a single plane here in space, there's an X, Y, and a Z axis. It's not only mirrored, but your Z axis is mirrored as well. So up is down, literally, and down is up. Granted, there's no up and down in space because it's just omnidirectional. But you understand what I'm saying with the position of the ship. But the ship is still righted,
Oh, it's the same.
but it's like your astrogation chart has been completely flipped on end.
Can I fix that? Can I?
Can I, like-
start resetting the computer?
Can I take reality and stop it from being inside out?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the bag of holding inside out.
Ooh.
Oh,
Don't
so
We
do
are in the bag
that.
of holding now.
And then we all fall out and we're actually just on the Sword Coast and it's like, what?
Not
Are
again.
any of us growing
Not
a goatee?
again.
Are any of you growing a goatee? Growing a goatee? The ensign. But it's been there. Or at least the player. You can't flip reality on its ear. That's just impossible. The only options you have are to flip
I
the
can
ship
just be upset about. I can just be upset about it. I don't think it'd be a good thing to flip the ship.
You
I
can,
don't think I could even flip the ship. I don't.
Well, it's not like flipping a table, Quentin.
keep in
Give
mind,
it a suplex.
there is no gravity, and everything in space is omnidirectional, meaning that there is no up or down. Flipping the ship, they wouldn't realize it was being turned. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're the fucking navigator. Of course you can turn the ship.
I can turn this way down. Would the people outside notice? Would the people actually in space notice if
No, I got mag boots. Check
Yes.
it. I'm hanging on the wall.
We would most definitely notice.
They would
if you were
feel the
flipping
ship moving. Yes, they would.
Like, okay, at the exact moment that Quentin activates the thrusters to try and turn the ship, Tana's like, hey, Captain, watch this, and like stops on the ground and it like starts moving. He's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
You can turn it. The only reason that they would know that it's being is if they actually had a point of reference that they were looking at. They're currently looking at the ship, so no, they really wouldn't know unless they went, huh, that star's move. Oh, wait, no, it's not moving. We are.
Oh, that's a thing.
It's a really, really... I played a game a long time ago called Freelancer, made by Chris Roberts, and they did a really good job of omnidirectional combat because you were so busy flying, trying to dodge things and fire back that you didn't realize that you would like your position in space is like completely upside down. But the screen never moved. So
Oh.
your ship never changed its position. The screen around you moved, and it was really kind of a neat effect. But anyways, I digress. The only way they would know it changed is if they had a point of reference, and unless they tell me specifically, yes, I'm looking at this distant object.
But we don't feel like the activation of the
No.
thrust pad. No. Okay.
No, exactly. You would not.
Okay, I'll try flipping the ship then. We'll
Okay.
see. We'll see what happens. I'm genuinely curious.
All right.
Just gonna,
go
like,
ahead
slowly
and
go
give
over.
me-
Nara's like, okay.
You look over, Nara, and see the ensign has grabbed the helm and is actually like riding the ship or doing something. Unless you tell me you're focusing on something out there, you would never even notice that anything was happening. It doesn't feel
No,
any different.
she's looking over medical records and the like, just
All right.
to make sure that this is like actually what she like thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to find some sort of medical explanation as to what the hell is going on. Why are we losing time and all of that? And currently, she's not finding anything, and it's making her angry.
While you are able to navigate and use the astrogation charts to sail the vessel, something like this is not out of your realm, but it's not as familiar. So go ahead and roll your piloting skill, but you don't have any modifiers to it. No negative, no positive.
Oh no.
Just don't. Oh yeah, you're great. Spin this bitch on a dime.
You got this shit.
Just like
I played
Throw the
Mario
wheel.
Kart.
There's a
This is
small
the one
blip.
time
on
that's
your-
good.
There's a small blip on your screen. That red alarm that appeared in the corner the last time that you recall is back.
the one that's having a better time than
God damn it.
Flashing at you red again.
I hate this.
You don't know. You're not there. You're out on the side of the fucking
Out
ship.
of character. I hate this.
Oh, out of character. Yeah, okay.
Out of
Yeah,
character.
just
This is awful.
All right. You
Um,
guys are looking outside of the ship. You don't, again,
Yeah.
like I said, you don't see any marks. You don't see any embarkation, debarkation marks like where the mags were activated. The only thing that you could probably assume is that whatever happened, it was a manual push of the button.
Okay. So something like boarded us or something like that.
Yeah, you're not really sure. You don't have enough.
Hmm.
There's no damage to the ship. That's what you can see out there.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at your star charts, you're righted. It's all flipped the right way.
Ta-da!
But that thing that was there is back. That large celestial body that was supposed to be on the astrogation charts that wasn't. It's still there. Again, you're about 50 years off from smacking into it.
How big is it?
PDB. Pretty damn big.
So like,
Do you
can
know
we-
that? Well, do you know like star classes? Is it like a class A or
It's
like?
planetoid.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna ask.
I don't know what that fucking means, but like,
Planetoid is a small planet like
big
Pluto.
boy.
I
Bigger
really
than the
wish I
moon.
wasn't the Marine
So we
because
could-
I know way too much about space to be someone who doesn't
I
know
fucking-
anything about space.
I fucking love you.
It's bigger than the moon, than Earth's moon.
Okay.
Smaller than Pluto, or around Pluto's size. Pluto is a planetoid.
How big is our ship comparatively?
Well, it was constructed on Earth and then flown out, so
Okay.
it's damn big, but it's not. You're going to be
big enough.
obliterated
It's not
with this
that
thing.
We don't win.
Are we
Yeah.
talking like light years or like years? Like,
Years,
50 years. So
which is at this rate of speed that you're traveling, really quick.
well,
can we see it?
That is a good question. You get back to the. Are you heading back to the bridge? Because you're still out on the side of the ship.
Yeah.
I do one last lap. I do one last lap in my mag boots around the airlock, like, "Wow, look at me, I'm so cool," and then I go back inside.
Fucking
I
brownie.
just stand by like, a really tired mom Just like
All right.
That one moment
Wait
where
for you to
where the
go.
kid is like going like this.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Okay.
You just grab them by the shoulders and go, "Where are your parents?" All right. So
It's me.
They're dead.
Shit, it's me.
Woo!
You about done? Let's go.
all right, making your way back inside. You spent maybe 6-7 minutes out there total, not really seeing anything.
Okay.
All right. You head back to the bridge. You relay what you found to the science officer, of course, keeping the communications open the whole time, so there was no question about what you had seen. You make your way back to the bridge, shedding your vac suit, I assume. You're not going to walk around in that thing.
No.
Tane
I
might.
want my back boots back.
You'll get another opportunity, I promise.
Yeah, once we reset the whole damn thing. I don't want to do that again.
All right. Quentin, you relay what you've seen to the captain or what's going up on your screen to the captain.
I like softly whisper that I flipped the ship.
What?
I'll at least let her know. I flipped the ship.
Do you do that noise
Jesus
too?
Christ.
Please tell me you do that noise too.
Just like
Are we on course now? Are we?
kind of. I'll turn to Tane now and I'll just be like, the same party thruster from last time having a party again.
All right. The party thruster. That's a technical term then?
Yeah.
It's
Highest knowledge.
all right.
It was pushing us off course a little bit last time, wasn't it? Just like slightly though? Or we were just on the course towards the star.
The way that you're arcing over because you've already righted yourself. So
Right.
You're arcing in 30 years to hit your trajectory. 20 years after that, smack into whatever's there.
Okay.
The ruination of the Praetor. Maybe. You don't know. Now, you asked me a question. Could you see the body?
Yeah.
I'm looking out the view screen,
Oh no.
or looking out the window out in front of you. You're still really far out. You can't quite make out. You can see some are burning brighter and appear closer, but it's the expanse of space, and it's huge and empty.
Okay.
So we have a lot of.
You said there's something out there, right? We're gonna crash into it. Can't you just slow us down?
Yeah.
All
We
right,
only-
then
I
slow
mean,
us
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't see why
You could
not.
just give us a little more time before we have to start saying our prayers.
I
That'd be
think the
great.
medical officer
Are
would
we-
like to interject.
Are we closer?
Yes, Nara.
We don't have enough life supports to slow down.
Well, it won't matter if we crash into celestial body, does it?
We're not gonna
Well,
need life support at that.
What is it? What is this? What is the celestial body? Is it? Please understand. I'm a medical officer. I don't deal with all of this face.
Did you just basically say, "Damn it, I'm a doctor"?
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm a doctor!
But isn't a celestial body also referred to as a planet
Or a star.
or a star? And if it's a
Or
star,
planet.
shouldn't there technically isn't a star merely just a sun
Fly into
we're
that.
seeing from far away?
Yeah, we still don't want to hit it.
Well,
No.
no, but if it's a sun,
I don't want to hit.
if it's a
Is the
sun,
planetoid by itself, or is it in a solar system?
Looking at the chart, you can see that it seems to be a single body. You don't know enough about it to see if it has its own trajectory and if it is at the outlier of a galaxy or, you know what I'm saying, our solar system. You just it's in your path, and that's all
Okay.
you know right now.
Quick question. If we've navigated space to know that there's a habitable planet at the end of this voyage,
Mm-hmm.
how have we navigated this far out and we don't know almost all the celestial bodies that would be in our path, or
That's
even just
the-
on the star charts?
Right. That's the thing. Would you like to inform them, Navigator? You were the one that plotted this course.
When how come we don't know about this star or whatever it
wasn't-
is?
It wasn't in your charts.
Yeah, and in my charts. But that's solid.
Well, is it another ship?
Planetoid size? Probably not.
Just
That's
all
a-
of the past ships.
It's just
It's
arc.
just
like a-
so.
They call it the Ship King. You know,
That's
The
no
ship
mer-
king.
so
Oh no!
tangled,
It's all tangled at the tails.
tangled together at the tails.
Oh
The
no!
thrusters are all tangled.
We should help that.
Oh
But
no.
what I'm getting at is if this is a planet and it's in our way, everybody who sent us on this mission is already dead. Which means that as long as we land, get communications up, send a communique back, they're not going to know the damn difference. So if this is a planet, we land, we do our thing, and then we're done, and we can
Wait.
colonize as per Earth
We do
requirements.
Planet doesn't mean we can live there.
What's the thing? We
And if
live
it's a
there.
road outside
Mars is a planet, but we can't just like land and be like, we're home.
Yeah.
Actually, out of curiosity, in the year that we're in, has Mars actually been colonized?
Yes, it has.
Colonized at that point?
Booyah!
Yes, it has.
We made
Is it
it.
like a dome bubble
And you
kind
know
of?
what?
color?
I
No,
bet you we
actually-
did it without having to tap into the forces of hell.
No, you're absolutely correct. There was no doomscape here.
Aha! Okay.
Actually, early discoveries in the 21st century, you know, that we're in now, revealed ice caps that actually ran deeper into it. The core itself was smaller than Earth, so that the warmth didn't go all the way to the surface as much. But with careful terraforming and the utilization of the ice caps, they were actually able to start life in pockets using
Thicken out the atmosphere. All that
right,
fun
exactly.
stuff.
Starting to use genetically modified life forms like moss with other things that can live with little to no oxygen, and they actually started developing it over the years. By the time that you guys set sail, it wasn't a thriving colony where it's like huge cities on Mars and this is where everybody's going now. It's like the posh thing to live on Mars. But early colonies have settled there and are making their own life there.
And then all the white moms showed up and were like, we won't let our kids be around genetically modified life forms because it has genetically modified in the title.
Oh my god.
Those moms
We
were
all
promptly
No, Mars,
spaced.
no.
Those moms were promptly spaced. Just into the airlock, hit the airlock button, done.
Just a
Yeah.
team of genetically
Alright.
modified moms with all the same haircut. They're all
Oh
driving the
my
same
God.
Chevy SUV.
They're all named Linda.
And they all want to speak to the manager.
Oh.
Okay.
The captain.
I'd like to speak to your captain, please.
This
This Starbucks on the
Tell
7th
them I'm
quadrant.
fucking busy.
We now know why
I'm on
Marilyn
a phone
wanted
call
to
right
get
now.
off Earth.
Yeah.
Marilyn
I'm
was
tired
being
of the
inundated
Londons.
with soccer moms.
Yes. All right.
Come on, McKaylee and Taylor Carty. We're going home.
McKaylee and Taylor Carty. Oh, I fucking hate you so much for saying that.
So you
Okay.
have a planetoid-sized object ahead of you. It wasn't on any of your calculations. and you know how well you've done those calculations.
What about that old movie Armageddon where they just drill through it? Can we do that? Can we send a bunch of folks to just drill through the thing?
Who would we send, Tane?
We are the ship. We can't send other ships to the ship.
Are you
What do you
sure?
say?
The backup.
Bruce Willis and Steve Buscemi along with Aerosmith soundtrack.
You see that?
Leave in the back.
I'm just saying,
I mean, I love your ideas.
this guy's the
Very-
colonist.
What is all of your movies are taking? All of your ideas are taking movies from like the 20th
Tony's-
century.
Tane and us are just
Tony's
like
not
vibing
as
on this,
smart
like,
as these
psychic
people.
level.
He's got to figure out a way to be like smart. So he's pulling from all the movies he watched as a kid. Like that's all he can do. Everyone, he's like blah blah blah. I watched a movie with Bruce Willis once.
Oh, he's so
He's
special.
so precious. Vanessa, are you gonna be okay?
Love it. I love it.
Okay,
That won't
so
work. Any other ideas? Smart guys.
Can't we just plot a course around it then?
It'll take extra time.
We have a
We
little
could
bit
just
of
leave
time.
it if we could just leave it if we're going to reset. We have
Well,
a
Yeah, are we
Isn't it in-
exactly where we were before? Like, I know we're 50 years away, so did we, when we reset or whatever happened, did we go back to where we started from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you're
So-
telling me we went
We don't know what's causing us to reset, so
Back?
we can't count on the reset happening.
Yeah, we're doing some Edge of Tomorrow stuff, it sounds like.
Hey, I watched that one. I
Of course you did.
it's a good one.
Reminds me-
Yeah.
Hey,
No, sorry, was a little bit too
Tane.
busy studying for my medical exam. Somebody want to explain to me what the hell that reference means?
Like, consciousness goes backwards time rather than like it's not like we're
Yeah.
going back we're resetting like what we're remembering, and the ship's just going on without us. We seem to be returning to a point in time, so everything's going. We are all going back to starting point, forward, and then
So then
It's
how
a
are we
problem.
remembering everything?
Well, we don't.
that's what we need to
remember
figure out.
everything.
I don't
We-
fucking know.
We
I-
don't
okay,
remember everything.
I've got some very, very frontier science that I want to perform at some point.
Mhm.
Ensign, you have a timer for right before 45 minutes is up, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does one of you, when that alarm goes off and we have like a minute before we think we're going to reset, what are you cool with just like me hitting you with our taser gun, seeing what happens?
Hit me.
Alternatively,
Not done.
do one
Let
of
the
you
man
have a
finish. I'd
marker
love
or
to hear the
something?
rest of this.
Con, I know.
Does one of you have
Yes.
a marker or something? Anything to write with?
Of course, I have
Well, we could
all
do both.
sorts of writing supplies.
Why don't I just write my name on my arm?
Yeah.
And then
That's-
if we go back, it shouldn't be there, right?
It's like that old movie, Kimi no Na wa, the one where they write their names on the hands, and then there's the explosion. I didn't like that part.
Con, I are you watching?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
exactly
you
like
did
that.
was watch movies.
So I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to write my name
Okay.
on my arm.
You write your name on your arm.
Whoever volunteers to be tasered, I don't support that, and I will not take
That's
responsibility for
fine.
what
I don't
happens.
need your support.
Con, I know.
You look.
Captain,
look
you
at
can stop this. You literally just have to say, I order you not to tase him, and they cannot disobey
No,
you
no, no,
without
I wanna
being
see what happens.
court-martialed.
Take his gun away. Time out.
I mean,
Just kidding.
Kane could tase themselves
Yeah.
because the tasing doesn't matter. Just that someone isn't like an altered consciousness.
Okay. How about we try my marker idea first, and
The
then
next
we'll
time.
go from there. Okay? Sound good?
Okay.
That
Great.
doesn't work. That pays me.
I really don't want to
Medically,
put any
I
more
don't
stress.
know what that's gonna do, but sure, why not?
I really don't want to put any more stress on our resources than we have to.
You pick up your marker and get a scrawl on your arm. And you write your name. Huh. You write it right to left.
Fucking fuck.
That's your name. You did it. You didn't notice it. It's not even like it's almost imperceptible. Feels natural. Also, Nara, looking at her, you could have swore that her sheet said that she was right-handed. Totally did that with her left hand.
This is like that old TV show, Stranger Things, where they have a thing called the Upside Down.
Like there's super long pause.
We're
before.
upside down.
The upside down. Where's the demigorgon? Oh no.
He's in the
I forgot about that part.
he's in the garden
Sweat
section.
loudly.
All right.
Just go back
Okay.
to my pod now. Go back to bed.
It only strikes you strange for a second, but then no, wait, that's normal.
Okay, I hand the marker back.
It's one of those feelings of fleeting. You know, like how you've done something so many times that you don't remember how to do it for a split second, and then you have to kind of go back and do it again, and you're like, oh wait, no, that's right. Like
Yeah.
spelling, like writing a word that you use often, but actually writing it looks
Just
wrong,
Kind of looks weird, yeah.
and then you're like, no, wait, that's right. It was like that.
Right.
It was just a split second where your
Yeah.
brain goes, this isn't right. No, wait, yes, it is. So you're fine.
Okay.
Nothing's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. We're great.
Everything's perfectly
Um,
fine, sweetie.
Okay. How much time do we have left?
I checked it out.
You've got about 30 minutes or so left. A little shy of. It hasn't taken you a whole lot of time. I mean, to get suited up only took you about a minute. They only kind of stepped through the airlock and looked.
Okay.
And then kind of stepped back inside, met up with everybody. You guys kind of were all doing the same things at the same time. So it's only been about maybe 15 minutes or so. So you have about
All right. So
28
we should
minutes.
check the rest of the ship.
Yeah. So what do we have time for right now?
Well, if all of us jumped on monitors, we could look around a lot of the ship with cameras.
Correct.
Okay.
Without having to leave this room.
Or if maybe we all go out to.
Maybe let's start with the monitors. Each of you get on a monitor and pick a different ship, and then we'll decide to go in teams later on. I'm sure we'll reset again.
All right. Everybody kind of finds a spot to kind of sit down. Captain, you can pull yours up on the main HUD. Everybody
Oh,
else,
big TV.
big TV.
I get the big one.
Do we all
Everybody
have
else
our
is-
own cool seats?
It's in my nap.
They're functional.
That's it.
They're better than lawn chairs. You're looking at the monitors. I would like for each of you to tell me. You've got basically the cargo hold, the colonist area. You got the science or the core room, the reactor room. You've got the word just escaped my brain. It's like the seed bank. It's the germination room. It's where all of
Oh, terrarium.
yeah, it's not, but they're not live.
Oh.
It's like literally like a seed bank. It's just a big room that's got, everything, every plant form in there in seed or potted or set it ready to go.
Okay.
So that's 4 of them, and then you've got the medical bay and the crew areas that you're in. And then you got the airlock. Yeah.
I'd say we ought to check the crew areas, make sure everything looks good from when we left it.
All right. So you'll take the crew area then. That'd be yours to watch. Captain, what area do you want?
I'll do the core room.
All right. So you've got the core. That's core in the crew area. Nara.
Sorry, what's left?
You've got the seed bank. You've got the colonist area. You've got the cargo hold, and then you've got the core. No, you had the core room, didn't you?
I'm gonna take the colonist area.
Okay, colonist area. All right.
Are we splitting up into individuals again?
They're just looking at monitors. That's all
Okay.
they're doing. Skippy got the crew. Tane has the crew area. Captain has the core room. Nar has the colonists.
I'll take the seed bank.
Okay, you take the seed bank. All right, that leaves the cargo
bay?
the cargo bay, and what did I just say? It's like the first one I listed, and I was like, fuck it.
Gone. The baylock? The airlock?
Yeah, the airlocks. Thank you. So you're taking which one do you want?
I'll take the cargo bay.
Cargo. Okay, that leaves science officer with the airlock. Okay. Tane, you guys all watch your monitors a bit. Run them. You can kind of run the video back a little bit or forward. Well, to your present, you can't run it forward in the future, of course, but you can run it back and then like play it through in like a higher speed. Most of them, it's multiple cameras that you can kind of watch in like multiple screens. It doesn't catch everything, but it catches a good portion of the entirety of each area that you're looking at. A lot of them are kind of big, so it's going to take all of you a few moments to scan through and make sure that nothing's missed. So let's start with Tane, our Marine.
Cap, can I see my hang in there kitty poster?
Yeah, you can.
What direction is the cat facing?
The cat's head is facing to the right.
To the right. Okay. And it still
Yeah.
says hang in there, kitty. It doesn't say like ITK.
It reads properly.
Okay.
It seems to be reading
Interesting.
properly. Looking through your
Okay.
cabin, though, you don't see anything. Then you look through the rest of the crew area, and it seems to be pretty
Let's
quiet.
see what's in everybody's room.
Most of it's stowed into different things. You can see a few minor effects, but mostly all of it's stored. And you don't really see anything. Captain, the reactor core room seems to be quiet. You run the video back a few moments. You play it through you run it back to about before you guys woke up and play it back up to the present. You don't see anything at first, so you just kind of keep running it back even a little bit further, kind of playing it through. Medical officer, you're looking through the colonists.
Yep.
You seem that you run it to before that 45-minute video jump in time. Nothing seems out of place. You run it through, it jumps in time, and then continues to play until you've reached your present
Okay.
moment.
The other thing I'd like to do while I'm looking through that, I want to pull up the 43 we're missing,
Hmm?
and I want to check what their vitals were like right before the pod opened.
Okay. Yeah, any of the logs they all show perfectly fine, and then it's just nothing. So they were all healthy. Their O2 levels were okay. One of them needed some more iron, but nothing that would be detrimental. But everything seemed to be fine. Skippy, the seed bank is quiet. You see the soft glow as it's one of the only places that keeps any kind of life support flowing to it while everybody's in cryostasis or in deep sleep. As you're watching, you skip to before that 45-minute period, and you watch up until the 45-minute jump, And right before the jump, you see movement around one of the corners of the long shelves that mark the seed bank. A figure. Can't really tell. There's no real comparison. You're not seeing the height of the shelves, but they seem to be pretty tall. Muscular, but lean. You can't make out a whole lot of details, but from the body frame and things like that, it looks familiar.
I look over at the Marine.
Yeah, a little bit like
I
that.
run the video back and ask, hey, Doc, look at this.
Me?
Okay.
Okay. I guess I'll stand up and go over and look at it over his shoulder.
Okay.
All right, I play to that section again.
All right, you back it up, and you see movement right before the 45-minute lapse in video. You see a figure start to come around, like into view of the camera. Kind of tall, lean but muscular. Very familiar looking frame. And then the 45-minute just stops, and then there's nothing in the feed in the seed bank from that till now. Tane, as you're watching the crew, like the crew quarters, your camera flips to the bridge. And as you're watching the camera, you can see the backs of all of your heads, you know, and it pans over to the doc and the ensign who are looking at their screen. When all of a sudden the doc looks, not at you, but at the camera that you're looking through. You look over at the doc and she's looking at the feed. You look back at the camera and the doc is looking at you.
Oh, shit.
But like through the camera. Then the feed jumps to another room.
Sorry.
He's just like a silent fucking breakdown.
Douglas just like, no, fuck this shit, I'm out, goodbye, I'm gonna fucking space myself out the airlock, goodbye!
I want my
See you later.
fragments back!
What happened? Do you have any tranquilizers? Oh, God.
Taste me, go for it, just do it! I'm done with this shit!
All right.
No, that'll be later. Just wait. When we all break psychologically.
You're looking through the cargo, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You're looking through the cargo. You can see strapped down in boxes and crates, fabricated. It has them labeled on there. You can see, kind of make out the labels, and it talks prefab houses that are easy to be built. You know, there's dried foods that would last for that time. There's all sorts of manner of things that you would need for a new colony. Equipment, hardware, things like that. You see one crate, though, that doesn't seem to be marked with anything. Just seems to be innocuous. And as you're watching your feed, you see the captain come up on the feed and look through it. Like, open it up, and you can see her head and the top of the crate. She opens it and obscures from sight. And then it closes, and you see the captain look around and then move. Then there's that 45-minute of feed missing, and then it shows the cargo area, and everything is quiet and still.
I hate this. I hate this.
All right, hold on.
I'll
let you process that as I move
Yeah.
over to the science officer. You're watching the airlock. As you are watching the airlock, you see nothing. That boot that starts to come through the door stops. And there's a 45-minute lapse in time, and then it catches up to where you guys kind of woke up, that time frame where you guys woke up, all the way up through them leaving through the airlock door. And as you're watching the feed play back, the ensign was there, but on the video feed, the ensign isn't there. It's you alone, holding down the comm button, talking to them. You can't hear anything because it's playing back. But the ensign isn't there. After watching it for about the full 7 or 8 minutes that they were out there, the ensign comes walking up beside you. And he's just standing there beside you in the video. And then it shows all of you taking off the vac suits and leaving. Doc, you were watching the colonists, correct?
Yeah.
You are watching, and you back it up to about 10 to 15 minutes before that time happens, before that time jump, and you watch as you see the science officer walking through one of the tunnels, the tubes. His hand tracing, the metal hand chasing down the pods individually, and then he stops at one. All you can see is the back of him. And he takes his hand and he just kind of taps on the glass and lovingly traces a finger around it. And then he continues and leaves the area.
Can I tell which pod he was at?
Yeah, because they're easily labeled. It was pod number 2.
In what tube?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It was tube number 2.
Okay. What pod number?
That one you don't know, because it just has the tube on it.
Okay.
All of your video feeds catch up to the present time. Total time to look over those, maybe about 15 minutes you guys spent poring over those. You have roughly 14 minutes before your alarm goes off.
Anybody else see some weird shit, or was it just me?
Not just you, I guess.
Director,
Alright.
Director Nain, can you come with me back to the crew quarters, please?
Yeah.
Seems real ominous.
Yeah.
Have fun, you two. While the rest of us are trying to save the ship.
Trust me, Marine, that's what I'm doing.
What's going on?
What?
I think something might be wrong with our pods themselves. I don't have the medical or the engineering know-how to fix it, so he's coming with me.
Oh, to your pods. I thought you meant to the colonist pods.
To our pods.
All right. You head back to your pods.
I'd like to pull up the log on the Marines pod.
Okay.
See if there's any odd fluctuations. Trying to figure out if his log could have been altered in some way.
Sure. Okay. Taking a look through it. Doesn't seem to have any trace of signs, but go ahead and give me the electronics roll.
No modifiers?
No modifiers. Like, you're really good at a couple of things, but just decent at everything. No. Let's see. Sorry, as I try to bust the glass I'm in there.
Wait, what is he looking at again?
The any change logs or the log for the Marines pod to see if there were any alterations made to it. No. Seems all on the up and up. Everything seems to be perfectly normal. It shows the initiation time and then the wake time, and shows the difference of 120 years. What are you looking for specifically on your pods there?
Okay. So she thinks that perhaps the pods are activating, but not waking us up, which means that all of us might be suffering from sleepwalking, because the ship is designed to register if there are warm bodies moving around, so the life support would flood through, meaning that it's not a manual thing, so none of us actually have to be conscious to do it. So if somebody is sleepwalking, they're not in danger of getting themselves killed because of lack of oxygen.
Right.
So she wants to make sure that the pods aren't activating without waking us up.
Good.
Okay.
And that's exactly what she explains to the science engineer.
All right. Go ahead and taking out your handy dandy
Driver.
science tools. That one screwdriver. It's like the Gerber tool for space. It's just
The one.
The Space Army knife.
Yeah, it's a sonic screwdriver. Let's not lie.
Sonic screwdriver.
Guys, you are.
Oh, who's the one making pop culture references now, huh?
I did it earlier whenever
Says-
said she wanted to write her name.
Says the one who's been doing nothing but quoting movies at us.
All right, you take a look over it. Go ahead and give me. This is going to be a particular skill that I want you to look at. On your skills,
Oh,
I'd like you to make 2 different rolls. The first one's going to be electronic.
No modifier?
No, give yourself a 1. A 1 modifier. Okay. The second one I'd like for you to make is an engineering roll.
No modifier?
No, actually, go ahead and give yourself a 1 on that too. I mean, with the total combination for that modifier, you really shouldn't need one, but yeah. Okay. Looking at all of the electronics are in place. They all seem to be working perfectly fine without any kind of malfunction to them. Furthermore, knowing what you know about how these work and they're tied into the ship, that unless they were completely on a separate system that is completely separate from the ship, running somewhere in a subroutine that's buried so deep, the only people that would know about it were those who put it in, there's going to be a change in this system somewhere that shows these pods are opening. Because everything is tied into the ship. The computer, that is the brain of this thing, has all of the subroutines and everything programmed in there, and it knows what happens when everything goes. If a toilet is flushed, if a seed bank drawer is opened, everything is noted and made a computation of, or a notation of.
All right.
Your AI hasn't developed that far.
Or has
Or-
it?
So, according to what you can see, these pods are working perfectly fine. They're not initiating, but not waking you up with the appropriate chemical cocktail that pumps your body awake.
Mine's got vodka in it.
Don't
Alright.
lie. It's made with blue curacao.
Also, while we're here, I'm gonna tell Nara that things seem to be working in order. Nothing out of the ordinary. while we're here, I'm also going to check out the captain's pod. The captain seems to have trouble waking up or
Yeah.
something. So I'm going to see if there's anything fuzzy with hers.
All right. Go ahead
As we
and
give
me-
in-character reasons why Jack is always late.
Okay, well, I'm a busy bitch, okay?
You were never this
It
late
looks
for
like the
Curse
captain's just
Strahd.
not waking up because she's sleepy.
And there's a much more likely chance that she would have died in Curse of Strahd than in this. Or is there?
Dun dun
Looking-
dun dun.
Looking over the electronics for the ship, it doesn't seem to be an electronic issue. The pod is reacting properly and activating. It's more of a metaphysical state of not waking up.
Also,
Hey,
can we
Tane,
fix
are you
that
still
latch
watching?
on Quentin's pod? Having
Quentin's
to
pod?
constantly tear him out of his pod is giving.
High anxiety every time he comes out of the pub.
Good point. Good point.
I would also be anxious if a giant, like, figure just, like, fucking ripped my covers off every morning. It was like, good morning!
Wake the fuck up!
Oh, it's time. Okay.
Get up.
Like a split second of
Good,
We got
Vienna!
loops to time.
What's that?
No, I was time loop joke.
I got you. Tane, you're still
Me.
watching the monitor?
Yeah, I'm scared out of my fucking mind. What's
You-
going on, Cap?
You watch as the science officer and the doc are in the crew pod area. They're examining the pods, and once again you see as they're talking about things and discussing them. You watch as Nara's head turns and looks at the camera and is looking like dead in your eyes. It's
Okay.
weird. It's weird too, because for a moment you're like, "Oh, maybe it's one of those pictures." So you move, and your head turns to watch
What?
you. As you move the other way, the head turns to watch you.
One of y'all get over here. Quentin, do you,
I'll go, yeah.
The
You
most
see this?
anxious person ever.
As you kind of
do you see
glance,
this? Like, watch. What the fuck?
Quentin, as you walk over and look at the monitor that Tane is looking into, he's moving side to side, but there's like all you see is the back of the doc's head and the back of the science officer's head, Nane's head, as they're looking at pods.
She's like watching. Do you see that? Tell me you see that.
That's the back of their heads, Tony.
No,
What are you guys talking about?
Captain, get over here. Look,
As you
look.
you come over and look at the monitor, and you can see you see Nane working on a pod that happens to be Quentin's pod. He's reattaching and fixing the latch that seems like that's what he's working on. The doc is kind of looking over her med pad, or the data pad that she has that has all the list of the crew and everything on there. Again, you don't hear anything; you just see them. They're working on it. But Tane looks freaked out, for lack of a better way, and he keeps moving like this, but you're not sure what he's talking about.
Oh, I suppose it'd be even creepier if my back's to them and I'm like, my head just does like a 180, like Exorcist style.
No! Just like
As you-
punch the screen really
Just
quick.
turn all the way around.
All the way. You just see
Nara,
punch
Nara, you for some reason, no particular reason, you just kind of turn and look, and at that time, you all watch as she turns and looks up at the camera. As you turn naturally and look at the camera, but it's not like
It's like
one of
for
those
real this
motions.
time.
Yeah, it's for real this time. Tane, the image on the screen lines up with what everybody else is seeing, and nothing seems amiss. She turns back around and starts talking to Nane again.
What are we?
You
Why-
all do the same thing.
What am I looking for?
she was looking at me for like I don't know, 5 minutes? How long have I been looking? However long that was. You didn't see that. She looked right at me. I was moving and everything. She could still see me.
Skippy. You hear the medical officer, or excuse me, you hear the science officer calling from you outside in the hallway.
Okay, I get up and go out the hallway.
You step out of the hallway, there's no one there. You see the pod door, the opening to the crew's room where the pods are, and you can hear them talking in there. It's not very far from the bridge, you know.
I go back in and I sit back down at my monitor.
As you turn around to walk back in, you hear again the voice call out, "Skippy, come here."
Does it sound like it's coming from the room?
It's coming from behind you.
I head in the direction of the voice,
Okay.
gun in hand.
I love that you have a prompt. That's
gosh.
fantastic.
Oh my god.
You jolt.
Yeah. One of the nerve jolts, I think.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you make your way. You guys are in there. Nain, you've just finished up working on the latch piece for Quentin's pod. You kind of stand to turn and leave, and you see Skippy coming into the room.
Did any of y'all call for anybody?
Not me.
You're not there. You're back at the bridge.
Not me.
We're like hands on shoulders, Tane, like.
No. Which
You're sure?
I've been messing with Quentin's pod here.
Okay. Doc, you didn't call nobody?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we were talking, but I don't think we mentioned anybody's name.
Okay, I just must have misheard. Have a bewildered look on my face as I turn around and head back to the bridge.
All right. Captain Quentin, are you still looking at the same monitor that Tane is?
I'm confused. Are you feeling okay?
I feel fine. Does Nara have something against me? She doesn't seem to like me already.
Hey, Quentin, you can answer this.
No, I'm sure she. Not that she doesn't like you. I don't know.
Well, you know her better than anyone. Does she have a problem with me?
No, not as far as I know.
Well, whatever. Whatever the case, she was staring right at me, and I don't like that.
Okay, well, we can file complaints later when everybody... Is it something you can get over?
No, it's not about Nara. It's about the fact that shit's been happening for these past, 2 cycles or whatever. First, I'm hearing voices, and then I'm seeing her staring at me, even though I look over, she's looking at a computer screen. And then I look, and suddenly she's in, no matter where I move. And then you can't see it. So clearly, something's going on.
Which is specifically why I asked you if you're feeling okay. It wasn't a judgment.
Fine. Don't ask me again, Captain. You may be my superior, but I promise I have no problem with kicking a superior around a little.
Honey.
Excuse me?
Please.
You heard me.
She's just like butt in the middle of them a little bit. Let's not.
Okay.
Right now. Please.
You stay out of this. You didn't do
No.
anything.
I know.
I suggest you remember who you're talking to. And practice a little restraint next time.
Restraint. You think I need restraint? That's what you think? Is that the
Yes.
problem here?
The 3
I'm
of
sorry.
you come back
Because
in.
right now I'm hearing a lot of talking when there should be no talking.
You sound like my damn mother. stay out of my head. I'm telling you, something's going on. Tane is gonna like kind of gently like sort of like shove Quentin's shoulder aside and really get up in the captain's face.
No.
I'm gonna take
Just like
it's not hard. I'm very careful. I navigate her.
Just gently.
It is very
Move
it
them
is-
out of the way.
It is essentially as close to picking Quentin up and setting him aside as I can get. But I'm gonna assume just because Tane is very
just
large.
a squeak.
Oh,
Like
okay,
you
and we're moving.
I'm
Right.
gonna assume that Tane is at least a little taller than the captain. Okay.
I think Tane's the tallest person in
Like-
the crew.
Because like Tane's 6'5",
Yeah, like
I think
6'5".
Cap's
I
like
am not.
5'5", 5'6".
I'm
Oh,
yeah, like
5'8".
average lady size.
Actually,
Yeah. I'm literally like this close to just fucking ripping your head off.
As we have a broad spectrum of ladies playing with us, as far as height goes, don't know what
Atlas
average
is
is.
still the tallest one!
I know.
I'm average height in height. Average
Is the
height.
tallest
6 feet
lady.
of raw power.
All right, all right.
I'll fight everybody.
Yeah, the captain is like 5'6", 5'7", I guess.
Okay.
Not
yeah.
6'5". Not even close.
But yeah, you do. You tower over both Quentin and the captain, so you don't
Yeah.
even need to move. You like do this so that his head's not in the way, and then you just
Like,
kind of
tilt
lean
it to the
in.
Oh yeah.
Fucking trying to like back up just a little bit, moving against a hard body. It's not working. I'm like, move, human. It's just not happening.
Is this what we come back to?
You come back
Do
to
your
seeing them
sit-ups,
having a
Quentin.
very, very tense conversation. As a matter of fact, you caught the majority of what was actually said there.
Just like, hey guys,
Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on over here?
Somebody forgot the rank.
Nothing you need to concern yourself with.
Okay,
This is between me and the captain.
okay.
And you, Nara. I've got words for you in a second.
Okay.
You might be used to getting up in people's faces and intimidating them where you come from. But here, I'm the boss. And I suggest you go
You're
sit
the boss,
and cool
eh?
down.
There's nothing to stop me from throwing you against that wall. You know that, Captain.
And there's nothing to stop me from shooting you. But I have restraint, of which you do not.
Okay.
You're damn right I don't have restraint.
Quentin.
And
You should practice it sometime.
He grabs the front of her shirt and like really gets in her fucking face at this point.
Nara's
and is-
just
and
like
is,
reaching
like-
in to grab Quentin and get him out of there.
Yes.
Just-
no, it's okay.
That's right, boy.
That's
Tell her who's
peaceful.
boss. Show her the way.
No.
Captain? No, I'm sorry.
Listen, those logs were edited.
All right.
We just love him so much
Captain-
as a character. I'm sorry. Carry on, Atlas.
Captain, those logs were edited by someone with your ID. What's to stop me from protecting the rest of the crew from you?
Well, if you look at my pod, you should see that I was asleep the whole time. So
Right.
whoever altered the logs must have my. I don't think that means that I am an enemy to any of you. But you're making a lot of enemies right now.
But Quentin, was she asleep the whole time?
Oh,
Quentin.
Vomits a little.
Like, oh god!
Throat salsa.
just a heave. It's okay. No, just a heave again. It's fine.
Oh,
You're a fucking
Vanessa, you're a
mess
mess.
a mess.
Making this
Just a
tense
mess.
situation.
It's
in
like
this
so horny.
horror-filled spaceship, and I've got you shenanigans going on. You crimes. All right.
You crimes.
No, stop that. Crimes are not a noun.
All right.
I'm gonna butt in right quick and just like try and still pry them apart and be like, I've got to go check something in the cargo bay. Just, do one of you want to come with me?
I'll come with you. Since it seems somebody can't keep their head.
No, I'd
hate
with
for
you.
something
Stay
to
here,
happen.
Captain. No.
Tane, didn't you
I'll
say
go with him.
Tane, didn't you say that you wanted to talk to me?
Wanted. Oh, right.
So perhaps
Fine.
maybe we should have that conversation and let Quentin and the captain go, and then it'll separate the two of you, and perhaps we can get some calmer heads, and everything will be fine.
We'll all be fine. Okay.
All right. Nara, over here. And he takes her over to like the screen. I mean, it doesn't really matter because I assume there's not anything on the screen right now.
I mean, you can flash it over to the cabin or to the bridge where you're at right now.
Okay, then yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. It's showing a real-time video display of the bridge at the moment.
Okay. When you were in the pod bay, you looked at me, right? Or the camera?
Only once glanced over my shoulder.
But you didn't move your head or anything like that.
No, it was pretty much a full body turn.
They didn't see anything in it either. But when I was looking at that feed, you were looking right at me. I moved around and everything, and you were still there. You sure you didn't do anything like that?
No, I'm positive. Could you pull up the feed for me, perhaps?
He pulls it up and to back when they were in the pod bay.
Yep. And you see in there, you are in there with Nain having a conversation that you remember talking about, checking the pods to make sure that they're not malfunctioning, and then checking the navigator's pod to make sure that the door actually unlatches, the captain's pod to see if maybe the right amount of accelerant is being pumped in, but everything seems to be working just fine. And the whole time you're looking, right up until that point where you kind of, turn to look at the camera for a moment and then look back.
Does Tane see her looking at him in the video feed before that?
Nope. You see her looking
Over
talking.
her shoulder.
Only time you see her looking is whenever she literally turned to face the camera.
It was there.
I
When I
believe
was-
you.
Did you find anything in the pod bay that could explain what's going on at all? Anything?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You didn't look
We're-
hard enough.
Tane, I don't tell you how to shoot. Don't tell me how to do my job.
All right.
We're doing the best we can. Okay, there's a lot of systems we have to check over. There's a lot of technical and medical jumbo that we have to siphon through to get the information we need. This stuff takes time. Okay?
Great. So
But
we're all
I-
going crazy. We're hurtling towards a star. Everything's turning up peaches. Great to hear it.
Tane, nobody's going crazy. Okay? I believe that you shut up, Cap. I believe you when you tell me what you saw. I know I didn't do it. That's not to say that you didn't see what you saw. This may be a medical condition. It may be part of a oxygen deprivation. It just means that you're not getting enough oxygen. So for
Yeah.
now, it's actually very common, especially with space travel. So what we're going to do is that for the next couple minutes, I want you to just sit in the chair with an O2 mask on and just calmly breathe as you would normally. Perhaps you could sing us a song or something along that lines. I want you to sit calmly Okay? And I want you to breathe through this mask. We're going to get you a little bit more O2, and we'll see if that helps.
Doc, I don't think it's the oxygen.
Skippy.
Humor me and try.
While they're doing that, I want to pull up the video I saw of what looked like Tani in the seed bank and put that up on the big screen.
Okay. Name. What did you
That
do?
happened right before.
Some bitch on blast.
I just thought of something. I'm gonna grab a marker or something like that, and I'm gonna draw some symbols on my metal arm.
Okay.
Just because if we're gonna test stuff, we'll see if it matters whether it's on the captive organic arm or my.
Sure. Good choice. You wanted to put that up. It happened right before the time jump. Right before that time, that 45 minutes missing time. So yeah, you put it up. Tane, Nara, Nain, since you guys are in the bridge, you watch as a video of the seed bank comes up. And as you watch there at the edge of one of the shelves, you see a tall, muscular, but lean figure start to step around the corner. As it starts to step around the corner, it looks very familiar. Tane, it looks very familiar as you're seeing this figure in the mirror. And then the video stops. There's 45 minutes missing, and then the feed comes back to just the seed bank being normal.
Okay, did everybody see that?
What the hell?
Yeah.
I wasn't out of my pod, I swear.
That's, your log says you weren't. I don't know what's going on.
We know, the logs say that you're not, which is why we're trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
At first I thought perhaps that the pods were not waking us up and we were sleepwalking, but the pods aren't opening until we're actually all being woken up.
So let's calm down. We don't want to
Alright.
There's temporal shenanigans going on.
Is that an official scientific term?
Body devils.
Don't give me
Temp-
sass right
isn't
now.
Because I'm getting less calm by the minute.
There's something up temporally. We know we're looping. So we remember before when but there's a lot of time that's missing. So what we might not be seeing sabotage, might be seeing us trying to fix things from before. Didn't go well. Or it could, but we don't need to jump to conclusions. We need to investigate those areas before we start throwing wild accusations.
But why in the hell was I in the seed bank? I don't know shit about seeds.
Just because there might have at some point we might have been oh, we heard something in there. Tane, go shoot it, and you investigated. There's
Fair enough.
that reason could send you to anywhere on the ship. There's a reason for almost all of us at some point to be at almost anywhere on the ship. I guess the navigator we wouldn't send very many places.
I don't want to go anywhere.
This is my computer. I'm happy.
This is my computer. This is my home.
Nain, as you are explaining all of this, the video is still showing at the current timestamp. It's still showing the seed bank. About the same spot where Tane walked around the corner. Actually, a little bit closer. You see her. Her orbless eyes looking at you. Weeping. Dark matter down her face. You know what it is. Blood. She opens her mouth, insanely large, exaggerated. You watch as the camera is standing there, and it rushes towards the camera. And then it just goes back to being the normal feed.
She needs
It's
some milk.
It's a split second. The only person that sees it,
No.
Nain. The rest of you, he looks startled because you were all looking at him as he's having this talk. And he looks startled for a second. But when you look at the HUD, it's still showing just the seed bank. Normal.
So I
You all right there?
just thinking of something.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So
So you were saying.
Ensign, how much time do we have?
I checked the watch.
About, let's see. What did I say? You had 19 minutes left last time? Or 22 minutes left? You've got about 14 or 15 minutes left. It's like in between.
So let's head down to the seed, bay, pod, whatever. And let's poke around there. And just get our feet with.
Okay, so
What's
the
going
rest
on?
of you are heading to the seed bank then, or if you want to.
Sound good, everyone?
Oh,
Or
Nara's
something.
gonna stay on the bridge.
I'll stay on the bridge with Nara. I want to look over this video a few more times.
All right.
If you need
Ensign?
anything radioactive.
I'll come with you.
And at this point, Nara she wants to have Tane escort her to the medical lab so she can grab a small oxygen tank and then come back to the bridge.
All right,
so that
so
she
you
can at
guys
least
do
have, even if Tane doesn't think it's going to help, she wants to at least try it, and then if it helps, great. If it doesn't, then we can strike it off the list.
Sure. Okay. Captain.
Yes.
Quentin.
Yes.
You guys make it to the cargo hold, taking the maglifts down,
Ugh.
and then you find yourselves standing in front of the door to the cargo. It's a big double door affair. You can see the seam where this piece is, again, modular and will come apart from the ship. You hit the button. There's a pause. Nothing seems to happen.
I'll try it again.
Push the button again. There's a soft sound. The door opens, and all of the air in the room that you were standing in floods out through the hole that's created where the doors are opened. Both of you start to slide off as you see nothing beyond the door but the yawning void of space. I need both of you to give me athletics.
Fuck.
There was something there. Sorry, what am I looking at? Athletics?
Yeah.
Just straight.
Oh,
No. Quentin gonna die.
Same.
See you next time.
yeah.
That's
Maybe it'll reset. You never know as you're floating through space.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
It worked in 2001.
Yikes.
It's fine.
You grip the side of the door and your body is lifted from the ground. You feel it tearing at you, pulling you. You feel your own breath being ripped from your chest. You can't hold on anymore. Your fingers have gone numb and cold. Your hands are cold, and your hands release. You slide off. You have seconds, before your lungs are crushed and turned to ice. Seconds. As you watch the ship get further away, you feel as you fall, landing inside of the cargo bay. You feel cold, but you're fine. But you're standing.
Wow, I
in
love The Last Jedi.
You're like, fuck you. I can take magical space wizards only so far. You were in fucking space. You don't get to just go and glide like a goddamn Disney.
Hold on, I haven't seen it.
That's bullshit.
Hold on, I haven't seen it.
Whoops.
Anyways,
Spoiler alert.
anyways,
You were describing us.
you are
Our death.
you are laying, looking at one another, but laying on the floor of the cargo hold.
fucking like this ship anymore.
What the hell is that?
Is that just
What would you like to look at in the cargo hold?
Nothing. I'd like to leave.
the small
Myself.
My sanity, my emotions.
Yep,
I'd like
you're
to
all in.
reevaluate my life real quick.
Okay.
Fuck it, I want to go home. Turn this ship around. Wait, I can.
I can't fuck everybody.
Literally,
We're
I
going
can.
back to Earth.
Let's just go.
No!
Okay. I guess I'll just start looking around, seeing if anything looks tampered with.
Okay. What were
So
you
we're
wanting
like-
to look
Was it so? That imaginary panicked death scene. We flew into the cargo hold a little bit.
for?
So
Yeah,
we're
you're like
still
laying- you're like laying right by the door.
right by the door.
Yeah.
So- Oh god. Would that be all on camera too, or is that just our imagination? We just walk in and like
you
fall.
would have to go back and check the camera feeds from a
Is
local.
there- Okay. There's an intercom by the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can I call to the bridge?
Sure. All right, who's at the bridge still?
Tane and Nara.
All right, you guys you're hearing somebody.
Hello?
Quentin still doesn't know that you have to hold the button down, so it's
The
Just hold it. I'm just like,
goddamn
no, I almost died. I don't care about this stupid hold the button.
all right. So the communication opens over the bridge.
Hello, hello. Who is it?
Yeah. Maureen, hey.
Can you recheck the feed for the cargo hold for the last what felt like 1,000 years of my life, but probably just 2 seconds?
Quentin, are you okay?
No.
No, we're not.
What
Can you
happened?
check the feed? We
Yeah,
almost
just
died.
check it. I'm gonna pull up the
Tane,
feed from
yeah.
the cargo hold, I guess.
You run it back. You see the captain and navigator open the cargo door, step in, and then immediately it looks like they're lifted and then drop to the ground.
What the hell happened?
Almost as though they jumped. But then jumped and then flung themselves down.
There may have
What-
been a temporary loss of gravity in that room.
Does any of the other boxes move?
You don't seem to see any of them move.
What did you want
However,
us to
most of
do?
them are secured
do?
anyways,
Oh yeah, that's true.
because the gravity's turned off in certain areas, so they would strap those down.
Did you want us to take a shot while you were in midair, like High School Musical or something like that?
Yeah, it's just end scene, end credit. We've all graduated. I'd like to go home.
End roll.
End roll.
If
All
you
right,
didn't
then.
see anything,
Cue the credits.
Cue credits.
we'll have to talk to Nara then. I just
You
I don't know.
You just jumped.
No, we didn't.
We didn't jump.
And I believe
Jump,
you.
Jump.
Just saying that.
Quentin, I have never lied to you. Don't give me that shit.
All right.
Captain,
Ensign.
when you're
Good.
ready and you finish checking out whatever you want to check out there, the gravity seems to be fine, the bay doors are securely locked, and you guys should be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. You are. Was there anything in particular you wanted to look for? Specifically, you, Captain, like maybe a particular box that you had been entrusted with?
Yeah.
Yes, that particular box that I had been entrusted. I will check, yes.
It's fine. It's sitting there, sealed. Nothing's moved. Nothing's changed with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna point at it and ask what's in that. It's not marked.
Yeah, it's classified, actually. Need to know basis. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fuck off. Mind your business.
On this, I would like for you to do this for me, okay? I would like for each of you to do a social roll.
What?
Look on your character sheets at the top. There's a thing that says social.
Unless both
All
do
6 of us?
social.
No, just those two.
Just those 2. Okay.
Why don't you just roll social, no modifiers?
I don't have a good social. Oh.
Doesn't have a good
Mine.
social, rolls better than the captain.
You guys are getting along swimmingly.
You okay? You're not good with people. You're not. You prefer the charts, the math, the science behind that part of it, the stars. But you know goddamn good well that she's lying to you.
She's like,
Or at least I should say, you don't know good and well. You have a suspicion that you're being lied to.
What you gonna do? Call me on it, motherfucker? I'm the fucking captain.
Before you
probably-
guys can call each other out on
I'm not
that.
gonna start a fight. Just stood toe to toe with Tane. I'm
The
just
other
like,
two, you make your way down to the seed bank. The room is cold, but that's not unusual. It's supposed to be cold. It keeps them from germinating or anything else like that. And the World Food Bank or seed banks here on Earth are in near the Arctic Circle. So I mean, cold is not unusual. What are you looking for? Anything in particular?
I am looking at the shelves that Tani was close to.
Okay. You take a look at them. Are you they're shelves. They have metal fronts on them, and then inside of each one of those metal fronts, you see rows of small drawers that you pull out. As a matter of fact, have you ever seen an episode of Bones?
Long
Never.
time.
Do you remember the Smithsonian where they put all the bones and they actually slide them into this big storage room?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like that, but the drawers are smaller because they hold seeds, not people. But yeah, it's like that. Glass drawers, they're all labeled with the scientific name. I'm not a scientist. I do not know the scientific name for all the plants that are on here.
Science names.
Scientific
Plantius
name.
Plantum.
Plantius from Earthicus.
Plantius terrace.
There you
I
go.
checked a few of them to see make sure it's actually seeds in there, nothing weird.
Okay, you open them up, and yeah, sure enough, you see them. They're locked away inside of the drawers. You open it, but you can see they're secured and kept individually. Some larger, some smaller. You know, ranging from anything from like the size of a mustard seed, which is almost imperceptible, all the way up to pine cone seed pods, things like that. Avocado pit, peach pit, things like that.
A coconut. Just a whole fucking
Just a
coconut.
whole.
The whole goddamn thing.
But yeah, they seem to be.
There
They're cold.
Is there a wall panel I can look through to see like who has accessed this room?
Okay. There is a wall panel here. Looking through it though, it doesn't show like entry or exits for the room. It shows more along the lines of entry or exit for the drawers, like who opened the drawer or what drawer was opened and when.
Okay, let's check that. There's any.
You see that there is a timestamp right around that 45-minute mark where every single drawer was opened. And keep in mind that this doesn't hold all of the plant life from Earth, but a damn good bit of it. So we're talking thousands of drawers. And they were all accessed at the same time. And the change log shows that they were opened and then closed.
So this is eerily similar to the Colonist Bay.
Kinda.
It's too fast, realistically, a person. So I think this is some time bullshit again.
The official scientific term.
I think this is some time
Temporal
bullshit.
shenanigans are at play
Temporal shenanigans.
because theoretically, if setting a bunch, anytime someone opened or closed one right around then, you could do 1,000 tries and it would all show up as the same time. It's just before everything flips back. So that could explain one person being able to do all of it. They wanted to do the same thing with Collins. It could be
That would mean somebody knew how to use this temporal crap in an intentional fashion.
Yeah, it'd be very intentional. It would mean either that they're responsible for it, or they figured it out far ahead of everyone else, and want to use it for some reason, or it's just us trying everything possible of over and over. In the end, it looks like everything's happened because we've tried everything.
Well, that would not be encouraging.
Yeah, I don't really want it to come to that, but
As you're looking over the data pad, because it's been about a minute. If you're looking over the data pad and looking and having this conversation, you hear a kind of a thump from the back corner of one of the room. It's a big room, but it's just kind of the back corner of the room. You hear boof, boof, boof.
turn and pull my little jolt out.
You get your pistols out.
Pistols out.
Okay, so we both heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm assuming there's like the comm panel right near the other panel.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna call into the bridge, and just say that it's me and the ensign. We heard something in here. We're going to investigate. That's about it.
What do you mean you heard something?
Just something, a bump in the night. Not really sure
That's
what it is.
Concerning.
Okay, well, if we don't hear from you in 5 minutes, we'll send the Marine down after yous.
If you don't hear from us in 5 minutes, could you come with the Marine? Because we might also need you.
Uh-oh.
I'm just thinking ahead here.
Uh,
I would not want to be lying injured. Like, if only we sent for the medic with the Marine.
It's fine. I'm no CPR. That's about it, though.
And if you
Sure.
ever want it-
yes, I can. I'll come with Tonic.
Okay.
She's like, no.
At this point, do we even have 5 minutes before the reset?
Yeah, just a few minutes left still.
Okay. So what's the okay, like, stop on the intercom. What's the layout of the room as far
So
as
it's mostly open. You have 8 of these shelves that run from the ceiling to the floor, and they make aisles between them. Around the outside edge of the room, you have more drawers, and then those 8 shelves have those drawers. In the middle of the back of the room, there is like a plain countertop made out of, like, it's metal actually, it's a metal rolled edge underneath so that nobody's banging on sharp edges. It's got a simple sink, like a deep well sink in it, and it's very, very, very high school chemistry lab looking. Very, very chemistry sterile room, clean looking.
Okay. Are there
Other than that, there's not much else in the room.
Are there lights on so everything's illuminated?
The main light that you see is coming from, it backlights the drawer, so it's actually like inside of the casing. But there are two there's two illuminations above you that kind of light up the majority of everything. It's not full lights on, but it's bright enough in here that you're not like bumping around in shadows.
Okay. Do we have flashlights?
There are flashlights available. You don't have one on you, though.
All right. So let's.
That gun will make a pulse of light if you fire
A warning shot, right quick.
Like a damn raven here.
I see it. Now time to reload. Okay.
I thought Nan's equipment had a flashlight last time.
Oh, that's right. He does. He went and picked up the whole pack. No, that's right. The doc had them. Her medical pack was the one that had the
I
flashlight.
knew somebody had one.
That was me, because I have one for checking eye movement.
All right. So let's get to it, Ensign. Start walking.
All right.
They've come from the back corner past what would be the first row. If you're looking at it right to left, it's the first row. It seems to come from that back corner there.
Head straight forward.
All right. You come around the corner and you see a person.
Is the person
They're
alive?
You can't really tell from this distance. As you close in the distance, though, they are.
Wait, hold on. I don't want to close distance after I say Hold on.
You see a person. They're about 15 feet from you.
Are they like standing up?
They are not. They are on their bottom with their knees kind of like partially pulled up. And they're leaning against the drawer. You're looking at them profile.
Are they facing toward or away?
They're facing like out into the room. Their back is in the corner.
Okay.
And their side is against the wall. So you're looking at their left side. Their right side is against the wall. Their back is against the wall, and they're pointing that direction.
Okay.
They are wearing, from what you can tell, they appear to be wearing, it looks like fatigues, kind of like an urban camo, kind of a dark blue, gray, and black model mix. They're tall and long, but where you would see like their muscle and tone, they seem to be almost skeletal. Like the uniform that they're wearing is huge. They are extremely emaciated.
I'm gonna call out to them and get their attention. Hello? Are you?
You see a head turn. The hair is gray and long, like it hasn't been tended to in some time. The face is long and drawn thin, the cheeks sallow, sunk in. Again, it looks almost like skin stretched over the skull. The face is a little familiar, and they actually turn slowly. Cataract eyes that aren't seeing anything stare at you blankly, and you hear a raspy voice that hasn't been used in you don't know how long, centuries. Says, "Hello? Who's there?"
Hi. Hello. I'm Science Officer Name of Praetor.
There's a raspy chuckle. The old ghosts have come to haunt me again. You can't be Nine. Nine's dead. Been dead for some time. I had to space him. Some madness took over. So you can't be Nine. Nine's dead.
Who are you then? If you know me.
If you say you're Nine, then you should know damn well who I am.
Okay. Are you Tane?
It's funny. You'd think after all that time not hearing your own name, it would sound natural the first time you heard it. Yeah. A bit unnatural.
Okay.
Sorry I don't stand and salute, but I seem to have lost the ability to do much other than draw breath.
How long have you been here by yourself?
He takes his arm and he stretches it out, and all you see are marks after mark after mark after mark after mark after mark, and it goes on up his body into underneath the shirt. The thin frame, the skeletal arm with skin stretch, atrophied, emaciated, just completely drawn. He says, I stopped counting after a while. Didn't seem to have much of a point in it.
Oh boy. Do you know what's been going on here?
Started with the captain. She and I had a bit of a row.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
I'm familiar.
Sounds like you too, yes.
Things started getting a bit weird. And the next thing you know, the captain was talking about all sorts of craziness. And I kept seeing Nara turn and look at me. Always out of the corner of my eye. And I knew she meant to do us no good, so for the good of everyone else, I took measures into my own hands. And she was the first one jettisoned.
Oh my lord,
What?
The captain protested, but I know what was right for them all. Captain was not in her right mind. I think the fact that she didn't wake up in time, she didn't understand what was going on. She tried to quarter me in, but the rest, they saw that Nara had gone crazy. They backed me in what I did. So when the captain tried to put me down, there was a mutiny, and I took over.
Oh no!
The captain killing me in the middle of the night. I took care of her as well. That's when I noticed the ensign looked like he was plotting behind my back. So there, in the quiet moments, I took care of him. And it was just you, me, and Quentin. And then I learned what you are, and what happened to you, and what you did. Couldn't have that. I told Quentin. Quentin broke down. I don't know where Quentin is. He wandered off one time into the middle of the ship. I haven't seen him since then. You and I had a bit of a fight around the reactor. Sorry to say, mate, but I got the better of you. Never seen what the reactor could do to someone. Kind of haunts me to this day. Now, this must be the end of it then. I'm talking to myself and the ghosts that have haunted me. Thought I could hide in here and be alright. Maybe that the cold in this room would slow everything down. Looks like the only thing we can't escape is death. And here it is caught up to me.
That's okay.
Like,
All right.
Do you remember colonists missing?
You remember Colin missing too. You were the one that was taking them.
How many did I take?
Before I stopped you. Total of about 80. Some of them lived. 80. Some of them lived. Most of them didn't. Like a goddamned Isle of Dr. Moreau down there. He coughs and wheezes one last time. He looks and says, well, fuck this place. And he kind of hangs his head for a second. He goes, and he chuckles. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. And then he doesn't move. He's just still quiet.
And I saw all this too.
Oh, yes.
oh boy.
At
Every
least he finally used a movie I've seen.
The best Christmas movie ever.
I hate you.
Bruce Willis even said it's not a Christmas movie, it is
The
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
Okay.
I can't believe Tane has changed so much that he literally died without a line from Indiana Jones.
The one.
Look, you got the Bruce Willis line, okay? You got the Bruce Willis line, but can we deal with the fact that I'm currently alone and I was the first one that he killed?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Nice. That sucks for you.
I just got a
So,
premonition. I gotta kill you now.
Goodbye.
All right, Ensign, that was a lot.
in about 6 minutes. 6 minutes.
I don't know about you, but that person that is apparently Tane at some point didn't sound entirely altogether mentally. But, so I'm not going to trust everything that they said. But we need to make a note. First thing we do, we come back down. We're not gonna touch them. We come back down. Next time we reset, see if they're still here. Because apparently,
I was thinking we could take the body up to the dock.
I don't want to mess with it. I don't know if us touching it would mess with it at all. Them, whatever going on.
Maybe we can have Tane touch it. They both should disappear.
Wormhole. They both poof.
I don't want to cause any further temporal shenanigans. So we're gonna leave them be. Because they've apparently died. They might not be here. But we
Not
don't.
dead yet. Shut up, old man.
If they are,
I'm not dead.
if they are
Just snapping.
still here, then I think know for that I think for sure we gathered from that is that if one of us starts dying, then we stop looping. Maybe. That seems like a reasonable assumption from the story that they told.
I'm not sure if reasonable has anything to do with anything that we're dealing with right now, man.
What was that?
I basically just heard you say, "One of you must be sacrificed." Stop the time loop.
That seems
No.
reasonable. I don't know.
Not it.
I'm saying there's a good solution where we fix this and we're all good. Just go to whatever planet we're going to. And then there's that solution where everyone dies and one of us dies very slowly. I don't prefer that option.
Well, it sounded like you went out pretty quick.
Brilliantly as well, which I'm glad.
Apparently.
He didn't say it was quick. He just said he never knew what the reactor would do to a body when it was tossed into it.
If I have to go, I'll go in my reactor.
My precious react.
I will.
Do we want to tell the rest of the crew about this?
My precious.
Do we want to tell the rest of the crew about this? Or do we just want to keep an eye on Dan ourselves? Or Tane?
I think we need to make sure calm things down with Tane. Make sure that that whatever happened doesn't happen. I'm not sure if we just come to everyone with everything right away. Let's reset. We'll say that there was some further stuff we need to investigate down the sea bay because we didn't get to it.
Okay.
We'll come back down. We'll see if this body is still here or not. See if, I don't know, maybe that they're alive again. And then we'll go from there.
Okay. Sounds like we got a plan.
All right.
Of course, we could always tase Tane, just put him back in his pod.
You making your way back to the bridge then?
Yes.
Okay.
Slowly. We're walking slowly.
Captain and Quentin.
Yes, sirree.
It's me.
The case is untouched, unmoved, unmolested, unharmed. The rest of the crew, the cargo, seems to be tip top. The seams that hold the ship together seem to be secured. Despite the harrowing incident, everything seems to be okay.
Okay.
Should we head back to the bridge, I guess?
Yeah. Everything looks in one piece here. Besides
Except Hannah.
besides
there-
us, I guess.
Did they ever reconcile the social role?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Quentin knows that he's being fed a line.
Okay.
If anything, can I see if the box is like, it's just something you go up to and open, or is it like you go up to it, you need a handprint, and then you open it? At least.
It is locked.
Okay.
It seems sealed. You don't see like a bio reader on there that would activate it. What it has is instead a number pad. So
Oh,
you can
okay.
type it in the numbers.
Okay.
It's one of those ones that's flush. It doesn't have the bubbles. You know.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So you can dial it in, but it seems to be the lock part comes down over the rest of it, and then you see it seals around.
Oh,
And it is currently locked. All right. So, are you heading back to the bridge now?
Well.
Or
I
if
think
there's
so.
somewhere else you'd like to go. All right. During this time, Tane and Nara have gotten an oxygen tank, and you are partaking of deep, relaxing breaths of O2. Ah.
Do I have to do this for long?
A couple minutes, just long enough to be sure that the oxygen levels in your system are fine.
Is everything okay? What's going on?
Yes, just testing for oxygen deprivation, because that might explain why he's seeing things. What
You
he
guys
now,
come up.
what I need you to realize is that what he sees, he firmly believes are real. It's a very big part of having the oxygen deprivation. They firmly believe it's real.
Which is what I suggest whether or not you were okay, but he took offense to that.
I'm not crazy, Cat.
I never said you were.
Well, anyways, gotta wear this thing on my face until I stop being whatever.
Just a couple more minutes and then you can take it off. I promise.
Couple more minutes and then we reset. You gonna put this in me next time we come out of the pods too? Ah, shit.
Now, you two...
Fucking silence.
We're just all like,
Like,
good point, though.
Now, you two contacted us quite frantic. Was everything alright?
Yeah.
no.
No. I don't know what's going on here, but when we arrived to the cargo bay, we opened the
Almost
door.
died.
And when we opened the door, there was a hole where the bay should have been. I don't know how to describe it, but
But the bay doors were closed the entire time.
See, I'm not the only one seeing things. I don't need this fucking thing.
Tane, you are going to go collect that and then set it down gently. Do not throw my medical equipment around, or I'm going to throw you around, and you're not going to like it.
Can we not do this again?
This whole game goes into V's anxiety.
Now, you said that...
Fighting please.
You said that Now, I'm going to tell you what I saw. The doors were always locked. It looked like you guys went up in the air as if the gravity failed and then came back down. That is what it looked like on our screens. Now, you're telling me it felt more like you were being pulled out of the airlock.
yeah.
We were very far from the
Okay. Captain, if you wouldn't mind, just for one moment, if you could come over here, and she's going to pull the captain off to the side, and she is going to make sure that everything is a-okay, do a couple quick medical tests that she can do without having her actually come into the medical office.
Just roll for medical, and then no modifier since you're just using kind of your visual acuity and things like that.
So medic?
Yeah, medic. And then, like I said, no modifier. Yeah. Shaken up, but otherwise okay. Not shock or anything else like that.
And then I'm going to do the same for Quentin.
Okay. I'll say with the same roll. We same thing. Shaken up, but Quentin gonna Quentin. It seems just like him. Just how he is. And it's about this time that
like that.
Nan and Skippy, you arrive to see the captain and Quentin being checked over by the medical officer. Tane is begrudgingly picking up an O2 carrier and mask and
Fucking doctor lady telling me what to
grumbling.
He's a real problem with authority, damn.
No shit.
For being a Marine.
Yeah, like for being like in a very disciplined line of work. It's like all about hierarchy.
There's a
Now we know why
reason
they're shipping
he's
out
on
into
this
space.
shit.
Say that again.
Now we know why they're shipping him out into space.
Yeah.
He's your problem now!
I'm not gonna say that it was a last chance for him, but
Space, the final chance for time.
Right.
Stop being an asshole. He's the
Literally
voice
is
of
the final
Starship
frontier.
Traitor.
all right. You walk in to see them. Are you going to share any information?
How long do we have? Because we were trying to walk slow, so it...
You're right about that. Like I said, about 4 minutes left. before your alarm goes.
Probably about 5 until the reset.
Yeah, about 5 until the. And if it happens, yes, it'll be about 5 minutes for that 45 minutes mark hits.
So what made that noise?
Still not quite sure. It's a big area. It's hard to get into everything.
I go
So,
start fiddling on the computer.
What was that, Jason? You
I
cut
said, I
out.
just go start fiddling on the computer.
Didn't see anything there.
So we were starting to check out the individual racks from where we kind of thought we heard a noise, but I mean nothing dangerous or anything. It wasn't seem like there was anything there as far as we could tell, but still want to just go back and check again later. We just want to come back and report information. Who knows what's up with time right now? So in case something happened, we wanted to like get it went down, and we didn't like see evidence of Tane just like mess around with stuff for whatever happened to us happened.
Okay.
Wasn't that? Hey, I have a weird question before we reset again. Does anyone need to pee?
No, but I'm kind of hungry.
Were you hungry when you first woke up?
Not really. No.
Were you hungry the last time, right before we reset?
I don't remember.
Well, next time we wake up, if anyone has to pee, I think we'll know our bodies are still the same. Great. We've had a great conversation. Anyways, you were saying smart people.
Tane.
All right, so we need to check the markings when we wake up.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on there? Tana, you still want to get tased?
Yeah, let's do it.
Fine.
No. Quentin's just like, please.
Poor
He's okay. By the way, Tane still hasn't changed out of his like cryo sleep clothes. He's still in his fucking t-shirt and like
boxer,
Yeah,
the
cool,
boxer
whatever.
briefs.
He just like pulls off
Same
his
way.
he like pulls off his t-shirt. He's like, "All right, hit me. Let's go."
You know what? Actually, we're checking enough variables right now as we'll hold off on seeing what happens. Mess with
I
it.
think it's best to cross that bridge when we come to it.
If you've got to pee, it's not going to end well. It's just going to be awkward all around.
God damn it. Tane just kind of like drapes his shirt around
It's
his
a
shoulders.
stark- It's a stark difference to see your Tane, still looking youthful, still looking, well kept. Yeah, there you go.
Virile.
As opposed to this emaciated frame, but you can't shake it. How did he go from that to that? What are you doing right now, Ensign?
I am pulling up video of the seed bank, trying to figure out when old Tane.
Oh, like when the old Tane kicked in? Okay. You keep looking over the video, and it's just that same. He's not in the room at all. Comes around the corner of the shelf, and it's like that corner. You realize now you're looking at that corner that you found him in. He comes around, or he steps around that corner, and as he does that, the feed does that jump, and then nothing else. Until you get to, like, you're watching the video feed, fast forwarding it, circling through it. You see where you guys came into the room. You kind of look at each other for a second and look in the back corner. And then you both look at each other again, and then you leave the room in the video feed. Looking at the video feed as you're cycling through it, you cycle back to, you can kind of tell where you heard the noise because you both look in the back corner. And you let it play at normal speed. About 2 minutes pass of you guys just looking in the corner before.
What?
You cut out.
We lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry. You watched the video feed at normal speed where you heard the noise, and then you kind of both looked, indicating that you heard the noise. Then you see yourselves looking at that corner for about a solid almost 2 minutes. About the same length of time it took to have that conversation. Then you look at each other and leave the room. You never leave the spot you're standing in.
I pull up.
I love it. Falcon just zooms back. Aren't you glad you decided to play with me?
Puzzle. I like it.
This is fun.
So anyway, hey Nan, come look at this.
Yeah. Come over.
I show him what I found.
Huh.
How advanced would tech have to be to edit our cameras on the fly?
Pretty damn good.
Pretty. I'm probably the person who approached that, and I would. There.
Yeah, you could do it.
I certainly am not good enough to hack that while I'm doing it. So that's we definitely need to go check that out again.
Yep.
We've boy, gone from yesterday's Enterprise to Event Horizon. Okay.
Event Horizon was way more interesting to me. You, the alarm sounds.
Shit.
1 minute counting.
Quick, tase me!
We're not gonna. We'll tase next time if we need to. Okay. Think about. You wanted to test if people are gonna have to pee. If we tase you, you'll probably pee yourself. That's what tasing does, and then it'll ruin what you wanted to test. Come on.
That or if you reset and your pants are wet.
God damn it!
All right.
Do you want to get on time loop? Like we do this again and your pants are wet?
Cap,
You're all.
there's one thing I want to check before this kind of happens. I'm actually going to slip back into my office.
Okay.
And I'm going to look for a discarded little packet.
There isn't one. But
Am I
goddamn, you
short
can
one?
really use one right now.
Am I short one before I take one?
Or not.
Okay. I put my jacket on before I left, so there is one in a little pocket on my sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to take one out of my box, break and inhale, and then just kind of stand over my desk.
God damn, that feels good. Your mind sinks in as the barbiturate kicks in, and you just feel yourself letting go. All the craziness is just it's not even a thing anymore. Tane Nara
Remember,
left
kids.
kind of in a hurry. You see her leave. Are you still at the monitor?
Yes.
Captain Ensign, you shut the alarm off for the 1 minute mark. Quentin, you're looking at your computer, still kind of zoning in now. Once again, it's something that's familiar, something that's relaxing, helping your mind process. Nain, your arm kind of aches. You look at the mark, that phantom pain that you haven't felt in a while creeps in for a second. You look where you had written the symbols on the metallic arm. I guess it's more of like a carbon fiber, but you look at the markings on there. Nara, you fade away. Tane, you watch as Nara enters the medical office. She takes something out of a drawer. You watch her as she kind of shakes for a second, and it's like a thin piece of plastic. She shakes it, and then you watch as she cracks it and then breathes in. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You don't see that. You see the back of her. She takes something out, and you see her moving her hand like... And all you see is the back of her head. She kind of dips her head down for a second, and then she brings her head up, and she just kind of holds it, kind of back in that pose for a second. And maybe the video feed is stuck. You kind of tap on the monitor. It's still counting down, though, but she hasn't moved. And as you're watching it, thinking, good Lord, we're coming up on that minute mark. Nara, the sound of the klaxons rings in your ears. Skippy, the sound of the klaxons are ringing in your ears again. Quentin, the sound of the klaxons are ringing in your ears. Captain, you're asleep. Nain, the sound of the klaxons are ringing in your ears. Tane, the sound of the klaxons are ringing in your ears. Nara, you hear the pops of your pod as it opens. Skippy, Quentin, yours pops. And as you try to open the latch up, it doesn't pop open the way that it should. Nain, there's the pop, and the pod opens up. Tane, you hear the pop coming from the crew pod room as you're looking at the monitor.
What in the hell?
You see on the monitor everyone's struggling.
Oh, shit.
You see the navigator's pod not opening. You run in to help?
I bolt for the place. As soon as I realize, I bolt.
You stand and turn, and you step out of your pod. The door flying open. You grab the edge.
Holy shit.
The navigator's pod.
I like throw it open and I like grab Quentin's arm and I'm like I grab his arm, but I don't actually staring at him for a second. And then finally I get my bearings and I like pull it. I'm like, okay, what the fuck?
Captain, it takes you a few more minutes to wake up. Everybody's already awake and they're kind of looking at you.
Putting on pants.
Skippy's putting pants on.
Nude. Standing there.
Hey, Tane, do you still have to pee?
I don't know. Cap, do I have to pee?
You oddly you do. Quentin, you feel a little hungry.
Yeah.
Is the stuff still on my arm?
It is not.
Fuck.
My.
It is not.
Oof.
Quentin, you still feeling peckish?
Hell yeah. Yes.
All right, then it's not just me.
You're all still dressed in just basically your skivvies. The lasers are not on you. They're, I assume, put away somewhere.
Is my shirt on?
Yes. You
Damn
sure-
it! Okay, that's
Hey, Nan, let's go check that mark we left in the seed bank.
Yeah.
And without much word, you see Nan and Skippy take off towards the seed bank. Oddly enough. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session, with them heading to the seed bank.
God.
Oh yeah, sneaky
Also,
boys.
Kitty, hi. Kitty.
she's
Thank you very
nice.
much for tuning in, those of you who did. I am Heath, the Dire Bear GM DM. We've had Atlas playing Tane. We've had Jack playing Captain Marilyn Foster. We have had Maddie playing Medical Officer Kalinara Morrison. We have had Jason, Captain Paragon. I'm not sure which one you want me to call you by. Playing Glenn Skippy Cryer. And we have had V playing Quentin. I cannot remember his last name at the moment.
Kane.
That's right,
Quentin
Quentin
Kane.
Kane.
Quentin
That's a
Kane.
badass name. And then we have had Pelka playing our science officer, one Mr. Nain. And I don't remember his last name either.
Collinson, I think, maybe?
Don't have to write it on your sheet, man!
You have been watching Dire Bear Adventuring Company as we play Alone in the Void, a homebrewed campaign based off of Traveler game system. Again, it's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully you'll be able to tune in, and hopefully we didn't lose any of our video feed at the very last
Mhm.
Oh, gosh.
we will be here again every Wednesday from 5 until 8 p.m. roughly. I didn't want to delve too much into something else before we had to go, because some of us have prior commitments. But it has been an absolute pleasure. If you are local here in Huntsville, I will be running for nights this Friday. The last chance to buy a ticket for the adventure is tonight. It is $20, but it comes with a meal and an adventure. It's better than a dinner and a movie. A lot cheaper, and it's a lot more fun. You get to star as part of the film.
Yeehaw.
Come by here at Lucky Dice there at Lucky Dice Cafe on South Memorial Parkway in South Huntsville. And again, on Sundays I'll be running the D&D Adventure League, and then we also offer party packs. So hey, if you have a birthday party and you need to do something, feel free to go ahead and investigate and see what we have there. I know, Maddie, we talked Monday.
Investigate.
What's that?
Roll to investigate.
Roll to investigate that. Maddie, I know that you mentioned on Monday night, as you play in our fantasy adventure campaign, that you have a few cons coming up that you'll be in.
Yeah, so last weekend in August, I'm hoping to run two things. One, I'm going to run a quick little one-shot at 401 Games for Extra Life's Tabletop Appreciation Day. And the second one is, if you're local to Toronto and you want to learn how to DM, I will teach you how to DM using Roll20. How to
Awesome.
create maps, how to find pogs, character sheets, whatever. I will teach everybody how to do that, anybody who wants to come. So if you are local to the Toronto area, keep an eye out for that. I've got to still coordinate with 401 Games on that, but it shouldn't take me too long, and I don't see why it wouldn't be applicable for them to allow me to do so.
Right on.
And then the weekend after that is Fan Expo, where I will be cosplaying and doing the fun things.
I would like to give a huge shout out to all of our party members who got together their characters' backstory. And specifically, I would like to give a huge shout out to Atlas, who did all of the art, including the NEEC logo. It was all fantastic, and I love having it there at the beginning of the show for everyone to see, and the music was great. Thank you very much to Maddie for hosting all of that and making sure that it got up on there. Anybody else have any other announcements that they'd like to make?
Not from me.
Excellent. All right. Well, until next time, keep on trucking, I guess. Or
Keep
maybe we
on
should just
trucking. Roar.
roll for initiative.
See y'all
Guys,
later.
have a good night. Take care.